hold on. Case openings? Wait.
A ton of money from
is that
hold on, it's my closing
they
thought.
actually everyone's saying they ran out of 3 because they feel it's profitable.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Catalyst Effect podcast, episode 72. That intro never gets old, man. I always laugh at that part.
I
Just
take
goofy.
every time we start the show, I take an L, and then he takes
Dude, it's so funny. Every time he gets to that part, I just start laughing. I can't help it. But today is a very special episode. We have one of our close friends and newest OG member in Catalyst, Doktor Funk. What is up, homie?
What up?
How are you?
What up? What's good? I'm good, guys. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Pleasure as always. This is my number one team out here in Web3 land. It's Catalyst, baby.
Let's go. Catalyst to the top, man. No, but honestly, it's always fun having friends as guests, you know, because it's a little bit more relaxed. We get to just vibe out, and that's kind of like how we like to run the podcast either way. So it's always nice to have like a close friend or like just a homie.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. I've been super excited the last couple days to come on. So been wanting to do this for a while. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just recently came back from Token 2049 all the way in Dubai, bro. How was that?
I did a little run. I did like ETH Denver and GDC and Token. Yeah, Token's cool, man. I mean,
all back to back. Wait, was that all back to back, or like do you have like a little break in between?
Small break, like kiss the wife, wash the underwear, kind of thing.
Yo, hop on that red eye, you know?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was. I mean, look, man, you do what you got to do, and if you don't understand how to work within the industry, then it's like you can never hope to change the things that you feel need change. So I always make sure to get out to these conferences, and Token's really important, of course. Dubai's insane. It was a lot different. This is my second time. Last year was like mega floods, so it was the whole experience was skewered. Yeah, it's like 4 feet of water in the streets. And stuff
I do remember that happened.
Yeah,
I forgot that people are like, that's just crazy. You wouldn't expect that in Dubai, right? Like,
what's that?
I said you wouldn't expect that in Dubai.
Bro, there's like Lambos floating down the streets. I mean,
bro, I remember that.
Yeah.
Mike and Jave, back when I was at Paladins, Mike and Jave, they were out there during Dubai. I was trolling them so fucking hard, bro.
Oh man, it was bad.
But I think they have like special floats that you can put your cars in. So like if they do float away, they don't just like flood. Like they just float in the flooding and all that stuff. So that's like rich people.
Like that's for real, man. But honestly, I don't know what they did because there's no insurance out there that's like underwriting flood insurance in Dubai. So it's like I don't know who paid for what, like whatever. Anyway, this year was a lot better, man. I spent 2 weeks out there because I did Token and then I did Pocket Gamer Connects, which is like more traditional trad industry, like gaming industry thing too. So I got to do both sides of it.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Do you think there's more gaming events or conventions like that happening overseas than there is in NA?
Oh yeah, definitely. There are a lot of, especially like EU regional stuff. Pocket Gamer does stuff all over the world. I do they do like, and they're small, I mean, we're talking like maybe 500 people. And but at least because I went to two. I went to one in GDC and here, but they're smaller events, but really super high quality. There are a lot of, big exec C-level people that participate in that. I had a lot of great conversations, but yeah, they do like Lisbon, Shanghai, Barcelona, London. So it's kind of like a traveling little thing. But yeah, there's a lot of great traditional industry events out there.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. You guys were out there with Earnscape, right? Like, so
Steve and I.
What do you think was the most beneficial part for like you guys when you go to like something like Token 2049?
I think for teams like ours where, I mean, Steve and I, you could argue are outliers maybe a little bit, right? But getting out there in front of people, there wasn't a lot of gaming stuff at Token this year, but getting out there in front of the industry and being able to get in front of people and be like, hey, we're trying to fix stuff. We're trying to make using blockchain safe by just giving it to you for participating in this application, right? And people got it, and it was cool. So there's a lot of validation on that end. It's, you know, we're trying to shift the meta and make things very safe. You know, you can play any game and earn on Earnscape, right? You earn more from our partner games, etc. You can stream, do all these great things, but it's just kind of like universal blockchain rewards. And, you know, if you can make $5 or $10 for doing something that you already love, and it's totally risk-free, then we're winning, right? And we'll be able to position that so people actually come in and use this application, and hopefully bring more people into this space and discover more great games that are being made. So it was good.
Hell yeah, dude. I actually like that approach too, right? Because it's more like a back end thing rather than like the play to earn model with games where it's just like it becomes like a 9-to-5 job, right? Like
it's engaged to earn, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Engaged to earn, or like achievement hunting, but you're earning as you're doing it, right? Like that's the cool
and look, I mean, we're
approach.
building it's the first native streaming platform for games. So you can stream directly from your phone in like 3 clicks, right? You don't have to like, you know, get a stream key and do with the OBS and have a laptop. So people in like LATAM, Southeast Asia, where they can't afford that kind of stuff, you know, we're giving people the ability to monetize themselves further outside of just what we're doing, right? By becoming content creators. And, you know,
mobile, making it easy.
Right. So that's a big thing. So hopefully I really honestly think it's going to change a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty dope. What was I gonna say? For us, man, I don't know. Like we've always felt. I don't want to say we felt weird about convention. I just think when we started Catalyst, right, we were very much focused on the entertainment aspect of the brand, right? Like we were focused on content creation, working with brand to push like and market their products if they were compatible with our culture and like what we were trying to push for the space, right? So for us, conventions like that, it was more of like, okay, do we go out there to network, right? Or do we spend the time to continue crafting our content and continue building our brand and our community, right? I think now that we're kind of shifting into the building products and developing stage of our brand, right? We're definitely gonna see more opportunities to go out to these conventions and provide more of a experience, or like interactive experience to the people that we meet out there, right? Because that's what our focus has always been. And we kind of wanted to test it out in Basel last year, but that kind of fell apart a little bit. And we kind of like took it as like, all right, let's do something else with it, right? Let's try to do some new forms of content that we haven't tried with the podcast and stuff like that, you know. So we turned it around regardless.
No, it's been great. What you guys been putting out's incredible, man. I mean,
I appreciate that, man.
Again, it's the only stuff that I watch like on a regular basis. So because you make it fun and it's not like a unlimited shill zone.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like for us, we built our brand through like a ecosystem of kind of like similar to MTV, right? Like where it was like different shows or like different types of entertainment, like you said, that you could find all within one channel network, right? So for us, we did that with our brand, and once you do that, is shit that you enjoy, right? Like it's content that you enjoy making. We're not doing like we do the podcast every week, mostly for us because we enjoy it, rather than like, oh, what are the people listening gonna get from this, or like, you know, whatever.
100%. I do every Friday night with the Adult Fantasy guys. You know, they did the Wag Me comic, right?
Hell yeah.
We don't have anybody watch our shit. We don't promote it either, but like we're up there every Friday, just like bunch of over 40 lonely dudes on a Friday night talking about comic books and nerdy shit. You know what I mean? But it's great, man. And those guys are awesome because they've all been friends since high school, right? And they're just still making comics and doing their thing. I mean, get ready for Adult Fantasy though. Like there's definitely some stuff cooking. I mean, I will say I'm attached to that as well. But yeah, dude, it's like entertainment. You didn't say like creating content. You didn't say this, that. You guys are making entertainment and you're doing it underneath the brand. And that I think is a key thing that, well, not everybody can do because they're, you know, focused on like a singular product. But there has to be people like you guys that bring everything together under one roof and push that out, right? I mean, that's super important.
It's a lot of fun, man. Like, you know, when it comes to Catalyst, I feel like we've always really marched to the beat of our own drum. We don't really identify with any singular industry. Like we've never considered ourselves Web 2 or Web 3. We're kind of just Catalyst, right? And we flow in between those spaces. the entertainment stuff has, I learned how to become a content creator through it. That was cool. I never created content before. Going through this experience with the squad and the community, everything has been like so purposeful and branded and done in a way where it's on our terms, and we're not gonna kind of leave that sphere. Like, even if it means we take a short-term L, like we know what the long term is for, right?
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun kind of navigating the world through that lens. I've enjoyed every second of it. And yeah, man, like, we haven't done physical events for the first 2 years. And honestly, like, I think it's mainly because it would be cooler to throw like a Catalyst Fest or something like that.
That would be actually dope.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, like, in general,
like,
dude. Like,
and this isn't like us trying to draw secret alpha or anything. I don't know how the rest of the team feels about it, but for me, the dream would be to have like our own Catalyst Fest or something. Like, it would be
that'd be dope.
Our own experience where we can have our own culture thriving and bring in like-minded individuals that share that kind of culture. Like, that would be fucking cool,
Yeah. Brand building's where it's at, man. I mean,
but there has to be gaming and stuff. Can't be like, sorry, I'm talking shit about the rest of space, but there has to be gaming and shit involved.
Man. I mean, that's why it's Catalyst Fest, bro. Like,
it's like all of our culture. I think it's inviting everything within that culture.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. But I mean, as far as like going out to conferences and stuff, even before you try to throw something like some side event or some kind of thing like that, I think the best thing is, and I've been either through the projects I've worked with or just myself self-funding, the reason I go out to those honestly is to go as far outside my comfort zone as possible and meet as many new people as I can, because you'll find people that are not even doing anything remotely close to what you're doing, but they've got ideas, or they really like it, or gives you ideas. I mean, like, that's how you do it. If I sat and I spent all my time going to a conference just to hang out with like Web3 gaming people, I don't see the point in that. I mean, that's just me. I mean, like, we're all friends, whatever, but it's like, I go out there to like, I'm figuring out how to like take over the industry, right? I mean, like, that's my goal is, how do I help people like, you or this guy or that guy or whatever, like, how do we all like come together and, try to like push this idea out there? And just the more people that and the more people you can kind of like test out stuff just to like just casual conversation over a drink, whatever, be like, this is kind of what I think. And like, you'd be surprised, like the stuff you can come home with. And I felt like this year I kind of, it's like Dubai flex crap, and like you can see that from a mile away and what people come out there for. But I think this year I feel like I kind of like punched through, right? And got to like a different weird subsection niche of people or builders or whatever the hell they do in the space. And I had some really great, it's once you get up there, it's like you kind of do everything. Everybody does everything. But I found some really good folks though. So it was really good. I came back like supercharged, probably more than ever, feeling more confident about what can be done, right? And what I'm doing in general.
Hell yeah, dude, that's what matters. I mean, you actually did networking,
Yeah.
I feel like people just say, "Oh, I'm networking," when they're like just meeting up to, I don't know, have a lunch meetup or something. It's like, I mean, you're just hanging out. But if you're not talking about, how to be productive, innovative towards the space, which is like to your point, what you were doing, Doug. When you were meeting this niche of leaders, right, that you found out there, because also sometimes you meet people that are building but you're just not aligned with what they're building, right? So like it's hard to find that network that you're looking for, but at the same time it's like you have to put in that effort, man. Sometimes I see a lot of people that go to this convention and stuff and they're just like you said, hanging out or partying, more than actually like networking, which is what it's supposed to be, So.
And that's the difference, because the kind of like those other kind of people that you meet, I mean, they've made it a lot of the time. They go to the whole circuit, but it's like when you get out to these events, like this is the longest I probably spent anywhere, like 2 weeks, right? And when you get thrust into this environment where everybody speaks the same language as you do, 24/7 for like 2 weeks. It's just like it frames things differently.
Yeah.
And like, you know, your head's just like the old hamster wheel starts turning. And I mean, it's pretty incredible. So, you know, I'm not rich enough to live in that world like all the time, but clearly, but I mean, that's like one of the big pluses is that it's like everyone's brains are like super tuned up because you're just all thrown in there with everybody else and just ideas and you know, I hate to use the word synergy because it sounds so like corpo, but it's like it's the truth though. So
yeah, man,
I love it, baby.
People are locked in. Hell yeah. Love that. Yo, moving on a little bit, GTA 6 announced recently like all of their side activities that you can do within their games, bro. And I actually thought it was pretty dope because part of this is what makes GTA a game that can stand for decades, right? Like I'm talking about like they don't need to release another title or even worry about it for like a decade or plus, right? So I wanted to go over this list real quick and just kind of see what you guys think about this type of like in-game content essentially. Let me pull up the trailer real quick. There we go. All right, yeah. So that's a trailer for GTA 6, which I feel like the joke with GTA 6 is that it's never gonna come out.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a joke for a while. Yeah,
This is never gonna come out. But I think I saw an article that said that it was like they were thinking that summer 2026 was too close of a deadline, so they may need to extend or something like that, you know. So
they already pushed it back from summer 2025 or fall 2025 to 2026 of the spring. But I didn't hear another pullback. Too much crypto. Another pushback to like summer 2026. That this game is never going to come out. I'm telling you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like one of the devs came out and says summer 2026 may be too like close. Yeah, I mean like that's not. He was saying like it wasn't enough time, you know. So I was like, dude, what the fuck are you guys building?
You know the other meme in Web3 how people are saying this is a crypto game. So Paul Barron on his show, he mentioned that he thinks that they're delaying it because they want to put cryptocurrency in the game. I don't know what source he has on that, but like he mentioned that, and I was like, that could be a possibility because by that time, because they delayed it to next year, by that time we should have regulations.
Maybe it'll be a side activity, bro. Become a big Bitcoin trader inside GTA 6. There you go.
I mean, there's all sorts of mini games that these AAA devs do that they could it could inquire to so many different blockchain use cases. I'm just
totally,
absolutely,
man.
Absolutely.
Just the live service thing alone is you know, there's all sorts of heist and loot and stuff like that. You know, I mean, like.
Become a crypto Twitter KOL on GTA 6.
Bro.
Give your opinion on everything. No, but like to your point, dog, like shoot, that Missy's shit just completely made me forget like the point I was making this shit, dude.
One more point I want to make real quick about GTA. There's this whole like RP scene, right? What if they're also waiting for that to like blossom and like kind of coexist with those two communities and like do something crypto-wise with that? Because I think that's another thing that people are already doing. They're already playing the game, they're making money and making donations and streaming it. I mean, they might as well just like make a full-blown economy out of it at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like just allowing like the ability to allow people to own servers within your game already opens up the door to letting users do a lot of things with that. You get me? Like,
yeah,
that's why you saw that stream with Aiden Ross and Face Bank where they were like, oh, don't worry, bro, we're gonna bring crypto into GTA 6 one way or another. It's because they're planning to own a server, right, where they can, once you have that, you have the freedom to do whatever you want inside your server essentially. I mean, so
yeah,
it's kind of like, I don't think Rockstar themselves needs to do all of that, but allowing the people playing GTA 6 to do it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be kind of gonna be like a sandbox essentially.
I mean, that's like D-Pin, man. It's like running a D-Pin server to host GTA and just taking fees on everything from people joining it. Like,
that's what I'm saying. They want the fees, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I mean, no, for sure. Rockstar's trying to get a cut, but they just don't have to build or apply the infrastructure for it. You get what I'm saying? Like, if they can get other people to do it, if they can use that sandbox model, you know, like of like you come do it, you know, it's just game over, bro. But anyways, here's some of the list of the side activities you can do. You can go hunting, you can do MMA fighting, fishing, pool, mini golf. You can go scuba diving. You can play basketball. You can go dirt bike racing, kayaking, clubbing, which I thought was what are you
Wait,
gonna
they
do
got their
when
own
you go
2K
clubbing?
My Player? Oh shit.
Yeah,
That's what
basically
it feels like.
they do have their own 2K My Player, but it looks like it's gonna be better. Also, what do you do when you go clubbing? Like
You
You better
drink.
have more
Like,
than 5 fucking
party.
emotes for that.
I mean, they
right? Like, are
they
you
go
just gonna
clubbing in
stand there?
VR chat.
Yeah.
They go clubbing in VR chat. It's crazy.
What did they do? Like they just like
They
socialize?
just
drink.
like socialize and pretend
That's
drink and
fucking
stuff. Yeah.
This two
Oh,
I
they
thought were
drink in real
funny
life.
though. Yo, this next two I thought were funny. You can watch TV and play video games. It's like what's that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where they build dreams and shit?
Oh,
Inception.
Inception.
It's like
Inception.
Inception, bro. You're
Yeah.
playing a video game inside a video game. Like
That's
Yeah.
that's kind of trippy. Yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
That's fun. There's that game, what's it called? Sunset Arcade or something like that, where you're like, it's like a power wash simulator thing, but you're building an arcade, but you can actually play all the cabinets. They're actually fun games. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did see that one indie game that's like similar to that Toy Soldier game that we used to play back in the days if you ever had like an N64, but
Yeah.
it was like you're inside like a bedroom essentially, or like a toy store or some shit. I don't know.
You know, it'd be really cool if GTA did this. Like, they tapped into Vegas, but like in the online game. I don't think this is legal, by the way, but if you could do a casino from home through GTA, that would be very interesting.
Like just gambling. Like,
Dude, it'd be
you own the casino, you mean? Like
You can sports
Maybe.
bet on the basketball games inside GTA.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There you
Like this is gonna be like your because like I say Fortnite is the first metaverse. This is your second metaverse, right? So like just make all these things that you do in real life and just throw it in game, and people pull up. And I think
mean,
they're gonna take a lot of the 2K community if that basketball game is actually pretty good. They're gonna take a lot of the people away from that game because 2K has been just like a fucking plaguing nightmare, and they do like minimal upgrades every year, and then you got to start all over every year with the new VC and shit. It's like it's a scam.
It's the worst, bro. It's why I quit so many years ago. I used to be a 2K sweat, man, and I was just like, fuck this. Yeah. After 2K18, I quit.
bro, they have 18. Like what 2K? Oh, well, they do it every year, right? It's like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So it's like,
bro, I've been playing basketball games since NBA '98.
Damn.
Yeah.
Calm down, OG.
Like I was obsessed with basketball video games as like the thing that I would play in between WoW. Like I would come home, play a couple games of like 2K, and then play WoW. And
busy been playing basketball games so old the balls were square because they were so low
exactly, bro. They were made out of cardboard.
I'm as old as you, so it's whatever. I feel you, bro.
See, I used to play a lot of the MLB The Show. Like I used to love.
Those
the
are
season.
cool.
You know,
Yeah,
I used to see the whole season and shit. Like I used to love that.
Yeah.
Dude,
and
that
also
game,
the playlists in that game were pretty good.
Dude, have you seen the game how it looks nowadays?
MLB.
Yeah, the show.
Nah.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
fucking crazy.
Dude,
it's hard to tell the
crazy.
difference.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
they nailed like a baseball broadcast. Even back in the day, they nailed it. But like, it looks just like you turn on baseball on TV. That's how it looks like in the game, bro. It's super lifelike. It's really crazy.
I used to love playing the home run derby type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, where you used to like go against each other to see who can get the most
Yeah.
home runs and stuff. Like that show was dope.
You know that game actually came out to other systems. Like it was exclusively on PlayStation, but now it's on Xbox, and I think it's on Switch as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, I know Xbox just recently reacquired Activision again. So there's rumors actually not rumors, but the Call of Duty League is switching back to Xbox. So there's rumors that Activision may make like Call of Duty like an Xbox only thing again.
Oh, it was PlayStation owned before. You're right.
Well, they didn't own it, but they had like a contract where it was like exclusive to PlayStation for a while.
Yeah.
And then Activision became like its own thing, like its own, like I forgot who bought it, but like they weren't exclusive to Xbox or PlayStation, but now Xbox owns Activision. So
I thought EA owns Activision.
No, they just bought it. Microsoft just bought.
Yeah, Microsoft.
I mean, sorry, Microsoft. Oh yeah, so that makes sense.
Oh, yeah,
it'll
it's
go
like-
it'll go to the Xbox then. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's like it's
And-
basically going back to console. So
Yeah.
Somehow this is gonna end up with a WoW and Halo crossover. I'm calling it now.
a WoW and Halo crossover. What the
How? Halo's
That'll
like
be
way in the
insane.
future. Like
That'll
way.
be
You'll
insane
see.
if they do Splitgate like that, bro.
With-
It'd
yeah,
be like
with-
WoW 40K style for Warhammer 40K. WoW Hammer
Yeah, with-
40K.
with portals and you know time warps and all that, anything's possible. Bro.
Why is there no graphic overhaul to that game? It's been out for like 30 years. It still looks the same.
WoW.
WoW or
Bro, the community would leave if they upgraded it. Like,
But
They've
they're
tr-
leaving because they removed a lot of stuff from the game that's originally was there, though. Like they're leaving
I
for
mean,
other reasons.
but they had a whole renaissance now. They're almost back to peak player numbers. It's kind of crazy.
From the class
Because of all the
servers.
expansions.
Yeah, the classic servers and all that
Mm.
shit like brought a lot of the player bases. A lot of girls now play WoW, like which wasn't the original demographic that they had, which is kind of cool. Like it's really cool to see how like the next generation of like gamer girls have really taken in the game. Yeah, man. Like
Now, the
It's
original
weird
demographic
because-
was my buddy who was supposed to stay on my couch for 2 weeks while he got a job and wound up playing fucking WoW 24 hours a day, leaving his dirty socks and
Hey,
drawers
man.
on my floor.
Hey,
I'm
yo.
like, get the
He
fuck
probably-
out, bro.
he's probably like, yo, but you know what? The amount of grinding we did for gold,
yeah,
we can sell
Yeah.
that in the black market for $60,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, I picked it up on
Cryptocurrency,
launch, man, and played that on
Bitcoin.
launch.
No, dude, it's crazy.
That caused a rift for the rest of our friendship, man. The motherfucker was leaving his drawers and socks on my floor while he's sleeping on my couch, playing my WoW account while I'm out working.
Yeah, oh
Like,
no,
bro,
yeah, that's that's
hell
a no-no
outta
right
here.
there, bro. That's a no right there.
He went on.
Was
to
he at
story
least leveling
career,
your
grading,
characters?
Whatever, huh? No, he had his own, but still,
Oh, that's
it was
bugs.
like,
That's
yeah,
fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
That's nuts, man. Any like, have you guys discovered any new games lately?
Yeah,
I
man.
discovered.
I know, Doc. You're a good guy when it comes to like finding new indie games and stuff. Like,
yeah, that one I
anything new out
found
there?
in over there in Dubai.
Oh yeah, you
man.
did find one
The
that you were telling me about
Unyielder, I think it's called.
on Yielder.
Let me find it. Yeah,
Gotta pull that up.
it's in our chat here. Right, I'll send you the link in the
Yeah,
in the private chat.
Yielder.
Man, I had a good ass time playing it. I think the demo's live in let's see, is there? Oh, I can't. I'll link it in our TG here. Yeah. Here.
But yeah,
Yeah, man, this game was fun as hell, dude. I mean, it's just like a little rogue light. Wait, like or light? Shooter, man, just like boss battle stuff, but it's super fast paced. I had a good time playing it.
hell yeah.
I downloaded the
looking for
Warhammer
anything.
40K typing game the other day, which I haven't played yet.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you know what? I put this up. You know what I thought was funny as fuck? Well, Messi said the collab between WoW and Halo.
Yeah.
The most random collab I think I've seen is the Doom with Tony Hawk, bro. Like
What?
they put the Doom character as a
What
Tony
the
Hawk
fuck?
skater, bro. I thought that shit was fucking
Oh.
hilarious, dude. Like grinding the chainsaw and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
fucking
this game is
hilarious.
fun as hell.
It's like the Unyielder.
And that Shueisha Games is like a
Oh, this is
super
like-
big anime studio in Japan.
Dude, this is like a Borderline style graphics.
little
type
bit,
of shit.
little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a little bit
Is
of
that
like
cool?
time mechanics, right? It's a little bit of time mechanics. It's super like hyperkinetic, fast, and it's just like it's basically like infinite boss battles and pickups.
Hell yeah, dude.
And a little
It's
bit
like-
of like deck building. Like you get 3 cards, you can level up skills.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
similar to that. What's that game that came out for Frack Punk or whatever, where you get like the
Maybe a
piece-
little
like,
bit.
the
Yeah,
cards?
yeah.
Oh, Frag
Um,
Punk.
Yeah,
It's
that game
badass,
died
man.
Quickly. Yeah, that shit
And
was
they're
awesome,
funded
dude.
by one of the biggest, a really big anime studio in Japan, like their games division. But I had
This is
I had a
Web
good,
2, right? Like this is traditional.
Yeah, it's Web
games?
2. Yeah. I had a good time playing it though. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
I smoked it. Like I blew them away because I was getting really aggressive. And they're like, "Whoa, man! I guess this is how you play it." I'm like, "It's your game, guys. Like you never charged the boss. What do you just wait behind a rock the whole time? Like, come on, dudes. You gotta get aggro with that shit."
That's funny, dude. That when you get a reaction like that from the devs and stuff, you're like, wait, we played this shit run the whole time. Like, what the fuck?
And then at GDC, I saw the Jay and Silent Bob side scroll beat 'em up, dude. It looks fucking awesome, man. I've seen
dude. When we went to Basel, Avagashi showed us this side scroller that they were working on, and that shit was actually really difficult, dude. It got me raging a little bit over there in the middle of the hotel.
Whatever happened to that game?
I think it's still in their ecosystem.
Cool. Yeah, it was a fun game.
Yeah.
I like how everything in their game it's like crypto related, like reference.
Yeah. I mean, Avagashi is like one of those ecosystems. It's like Axie Infinity. You know, they've been around since the beginning, type of shit. So
yeah.
They have a cult like following. You know, people that stay there with their NFTs and stuff. So
with Avagashi, they've been around for a minute, man. I never really dipped in very hard over
there. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Avagashi's like they have cool shit in their ecosystem, but it's never been like gamers pushing it. You get me? So it's like they have that hard time connecting with that gaming side of the industry, you know. So
gee, if only they had a partner to help them with that endeavor.
I was gonna say,
I mean, listen, man, we've worked with them plenty of times, so shout out to them. You know, shout out to them. They're doing their things, you know. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't.
I can't.
No, yeah, but yo, Missy, you were telling me about another game too, right? Like,
yes, sir.
No, it wasn't an MMO.
It's Legacy.
Like right?
Yeah, it's Legacy. They really need to change
right
the
here.
fucking
Legacy.
name.
Legacy. Fuck.
Let us go see.
Legacy, Steel, and Sorcery. That's
there we go.
Legacy,
Steel, they need to change the name. Like devs, please. That's a mouthful to remember.
They need a trailer.
Yeah.
How's the logo?
It's pretty cool. The logo is pretty cool. Yeah.
The logo's actually pretty cool here. Let me share.
But yeah, this is a Web 2 game. It's a PvE extraction RPG. And I downloaded it a couple of days ago, hopped into the lobbies for a couple hours, and it was pretty fun, man. Like it's early access still. If you hit media clouds, the videos will come up.
Wait, Notorious Studio. Isn't this the studio that partnered with OTK?
Yeah.
They might have been in that indie OTK summit.
Yeah, if you hit the second video on there you go at 50 seconds. Yeah, that's like this Twitch streamer that was like trying out the new Wizard class.
Right yeah, I remember.
Where do they gotta make like RPG games so fucking dark all the time, bro?
Yeah, like this is just this this part of the map. The rest of it is pretty well.
I was talking to you about this when we were talking about Seraph. It gives me anxiety, bro.
But like, just play it with the light on. I don't know.
That's not gonna fix the in-game like brightness, bro. Like, what the fuck does light in my room have to do with anything? I just need more vibrancy, you know.
Listen,
I'm just like turning on the light in my room. Okay.
Clouds, I got you. Just smoke a bowl and get fully immersed.
Yeah, that's what you would do if you smoke a bowl. Turn on the light in your room when the brightness is too dark in the game. Like
that looks cool. I think I saw someone playing this last night.
It looks cool.
Guy I know on Twitter was running a Twitch, and it looks pretty sweet.
You know what it reminds me of? I don't know if you guys ever played this game in the Xbox, but it was called Two Worlds. It was like an MMO.
Yes, sir.
It had a lot of mods that you could do in it. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of with all this fucking shit going on.
Dude, I love this kind of shit. I love ARPGs, man.
It felt like if someone had put a baby between like Elden Ring and Skyrim style combat, and like wow, like that's how it felt to me. It's a PvE extraction game loop. So and then they have like a free for all deathmatch mode. I played both. And it was really cool. Like I think the current classes they have is Warrior, Priest, Rogue, Hunter, and Wizard. I played the Rogue and the Wizard for a little bit, and I'll definitely be jumping in more and like trying to level up and getting my gear better, and then like getting more into the PvP scene. I could see it. I think the only concern I have for it is like it feels a little niche because it's like an RPG game, then it has like action combat, but it's like a PvP PvE extraction game.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know.
That's like every
three.
AR
Yeah.
ARPG PvE PvP extraction. Like
Pick a
that's
genre.
Yeah.
Too many V's.
Yeah.
like it's like kitchen sink shit, you know.
I
Yeah.
really wonder if the industry is going to like stick with this trend, because it looks, I mean, look, Marathon is having a lot of trouble finding some foot on the ground. Is extraction shooter going to be not extraction shooter, but extraction type of game? Like it's like the natural progression to go from like making a bunch of BRs and now everyone's making the extraction shooters or that genre. I wonder if that's going to last, man, because like you really need players for that to make it like a full experience. And if players don't want to play that, I don't know, I just feel like they should make that kind of like optional. I hate that we're like defaulting to like that category so much. So many games are defaulting to extraction shooter. I'm just like, okay.
I think
Yeah,
I think where it fails, in my opinion, just to add real quick to your point, Hado, is that when extraction shooters try to take the competitive route versus like the in-game content route. Like for example, Once Human is a perfect example of an extraction shooter that's doing it very well, in my opinion, because they're building ecosystem of servers that just have like PvE experiences in it while you're extracting, while also involving the division model, where it's like once you're out there in that environment of like PvE environment, right? Like you're in this hot zone where third parties can come in and fucking fuck you up and steal all your shit. You get me?
Yeah, and
but the core mechanic is not fighting with the other team; is surviving the world that you're in. You get me? So
I get down with that.
Another game that I would throw in there too that just came out recently, or it's like a play test, Arc Raiders, same exact concept. Like you're going around looting and shooting and whatever, but it's more PvE, and it's also an extraction shooter, but it's like less PvP. And I think that's really like that. I think that will stick more because like the less sweatier it is, the more casual it is, people will pick it up and play it and try it out.
Yeah, I would say that my experience with Legacy, the footage you saw was from the free for all. My experience with the PvP PvE extraction mode was like kind of like that, where I spent a lot of time just killing mobs and looting them like you would in any MMO, and then we had about a 30-minute timer to get out of the zone, and I just came across a couple of groups that we would end up killing each other, and that was, and then if you get to extract, you get to extract kind of thing, you know. So I mean, it didn't feel as sweaty as some of the other extraction loops that I've played. Definitely not as campy as, like, for example, when we tried it with Shrapnel. So I mean, I'm still not a huge fan of extraction, but the way that they approached it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it's all in the approach, man. To your point, it's like what I was saying, like Shrapnel and Dead Drop, for example, felt very boring and stale to me because they focus on that competitive aspect for it, right? Like people were going in there to try to kill each other and then extract the highest loot possible, right? Like, so that's why you saw a lot of people. I'm just gonna camp in this corner until I see somebody to kill. That's easy, and then take all their shit, go back to hiding. You get me? Until the extraction sun comes out. You have a world that's constantly pushing you. So if you're like out there, right, and like a group of zombies is constantly going for you, and you're having to survive that, and all of a sudden, you know, Duck and Hato comes out of nowhere and they're shooting at you, trying to take your shit. Now it's like the zombie survival plus another player trying to PvP me to take the highest loot possible, right? So like that becomes automatically a way more fun experience in extraction games than just trying to be competitive all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I like the PvE elements. Like I didn't like Shrapnel; it wasn't for me, man, at all. I'm not sweaty like that either anymore.
And I do like the native PvE where it's like you're like in real time teaming up with a person in a game, and then like the other people are just shooting you, and you like team up and kill them, and then like someone betrays you or whatever, or you betray them. That kind of content I fuck with. But like a lot of these games just focus on like esports, and it's like, all right, dude, like let's this is a sandbox. Let me play in the sandbox.
But it's like if you're gonna focus on esports, then you need to know your target audience really well, right? Because for example, man, like if you're targeting esports to my demographic, like the people for my age and the people that play competitive, like growing up, right? Like for my age, like we want boots on the ground shooters, for example, right? Like we don't want fucking extraction shooter futuristic shit with some shroud explosion shit that sends you fly. like that's not
Yeah.
the esports that
I
my
want Unreal
demographic is
Tournament
in.
shit.
Yeah,
You
know
like,
what I
that's
mean?
not the demographic that for esports that we're interested in, right? So like
Yeah.
if you're attracting the young demographic for esports, the current demographic, then you really gotta focus on competing with the current products that are offering that. You get me? And to beat that, man, to meet that expectation, you're gonna have a tough time if you're like with what we're currently seeing in our fucking industry, you know. So I don't know. I'm with you guys. I'm more interested in the PvE, like casual experiences that are coming into gaming,
Dude, totally.
rather than the esports, you know, competitive, highly
I
skilled
like to
level.
just go chop trees, shit like that.
You're reminding me of
I'll
how
sit
to
there.
play in Breath. What's that game that you've been playing? The fucking RuneScape game. Dragon Breath. Or
RuneScape,
whatever?
RuneScape Dragon Wild, which I'm playing right
Dragon
now.
Wild. Dragon Wild, yeah.
Oh
It's like
yeah, I meant to look.
you're
take a look
randomly
at that.
chopping
Yeah,
a
man.
tree, you know.
I like some tree chopping, some building shit like
Yeah,
that.
they actually had that in Legacy too. I was chopping some trees and collecting some ore. It was
Just
a nice
peaceful,
little
man.
vibe in between killing
Yeah, man,
motherfuckers.
it's
You know,
always,
it's like let me get this ore and then throw this fireball at some orc's face.
Yeah,
it's
man.
a good side activity, you know. Just go kill
Yeah.
some trees and shit. Yo, another game that I got in my radar recently was Get Revenge, or Just Revenge, I guess is what they're called. It's like a PvE like shooter that's coming out too. But what I thought was really cool about this people is that they recently got a partnership with Twitch, that they're gonna be pushing like this crowd-funded or like crowd involvement
Mhm.
partnership, where basically the people watching, or like the people in that category in Twitch, can somehow be involved and control what's going on with the experience in
Oh
game.
God.
Which I think is going to be really cool, bro. If you're playing, let's say, with your co-op, because this is also a multiplayer co-op game. Let's say you're playing with your friends, and if the viewers can control, like, I don't know how frequent the monsters come at you or
Yeah.
whatever, or like how strong the boss is based on like a voting or like some type of mechanic like that, dude. I think that would be really, really cool. And the fact that it's happening with Twitch is a great way to retain viewership in a
Mhm.
new category.
Yeah.
You get me?
Remember when Twitch played Pokemon? Like how crazy that was, like back in the day?
Yep.
Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, like getting people
Yep.
involved. It's like, and it makes the ad revenue, so it makes the advertising for like those streams so much more
Mhm.
valuable, because people are interacting, the viewers are watching and pushing shit too. So when they get ad breaks and stuff, like they already know that they're super engaged. Like that's a part of that whole thing, outside of just like the mechanic itself. But yeah, man, I think that's cool. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about, man. Interactive
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah, man. And I think this is the type of outside of the box thinking that teams really need to have, especially when you're developing something like a shooter, man. I feel like that category of games is so monopolized. I always have a hard time saying that word, fuck. But whatever, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's so
Mhm.
controlled by major leaders in that side of the industry, right? That it's really hard for a new product to come out and make the success that they need to have to stay afloat, right? Like, and we see it
Mhm.
happen pretty often. I always bring it up. We see it happen with X Defiant and them shutting down. We saw
Rest
it
in
happen
peace.
with Frag Punk, right? Like, it's really hard for any shooter to really come into market nowadays and stay around if you're not like Call of Duty, Fortnite, Valorant.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, type of shit. So
Yeah.
it's really cool to see this approach. I'm really excited, man. It comes out later this month.
This looks fucking sick, man.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
cool as hell. Yeah. I think this is gonna be more the thing. Like, clearly recycling genres isn't working. Clearly, like mashing multiple types of genres isn't really doing the trick either. And there's got to be something new and innovative that comes out that like pushes the industry forward. And this kind of stuff, like on a wide scale, like this interactive stuff, I'm be really interesting to see how they implement it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think these kind of like things where it's participatory, I think I can see that being more of a thing.
Yeah, if you look at the
Yeah.
most trending games like on Quest and like on Steam or whatever, they're all like casual experiences that are just easy to pick up and play and are very interactive. So
Mhm.
like that's kind of like how the industry is like trending right now. Because like the younger audience of gaming, they don't really care about, I mean, for the most part, they don't really care about long-winded experiences that take hours to play. They just want to play something really quick and go. Because I think a lot of them are working too. That's the other thing. You have
Yeah.
time to like dump into like a 4-hour, 5-hour
Right.
story campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think
definitely.
what's really cool about it is, one, it's a blockchain game, right? Like, they have blockchain tech behind their
Mhm.
product, which is really cool to see it being pushed in a major like streaming platform like Twitch, right? Because I feel like I've seen similar approaches to this maybe, but with platforms that may not have like such a vast reach to eyes, essentially, you get me? So it doesn't end up having the impact that it needs to have. So the fact that it's being pushed by Twitch, man, even though Twitch as a company, you know, has a lot of flaws, but when it comes to the discoverability or like the you know, impact you're gonna have with the eyes that you're gonna have on, so
yeah, you don't go straight to the top without having something good under the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I agree with that, man. Like, and I think this is gonna be really cool. So I'm really excited for this. Really pumped. All right, man. So those are some kind of like of the new games that I've been.
Yeah, man. I actually wanted to jump in real quick because shout out Wildcard. I dropped a link in our Telegram.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I mean I just did it, bro. It's no biggie.
No, I just don't have Telegram open because it was giving me a lot of notifications, so I closed it for a sec.
Oh, my bad, dude.
No, you're good.
Shout out Wildcard because they're kind of doing something similar with Thousands TV.
Yeah, they've been working on that for a bit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, saw some of that.
Yeah, I'll wait for you to pull up before I go into it, so we have it for the.
I got you. It's coming up now. There you go.
Yeah, shout out Wildcard because they're this doesn't show it, but I know that they're doing something similar for Thousands TV. Like a lot of people have been confused about like the streaming platform that they're releasing, right? And the idea is for this kind of like crowd play where the people that are watching the stream are essentially like the people that are sitting in the stands watching the center. Like you see how there's all those bodies in the stands. The way that Thousands TV works is you're actually the viewer. You're one of the people sitting there, and you're actually able to impact like the stuff that's going on in the field. With how they set up their system with Thousands TV. Yeah, so I mean,
I like that.
It's kind of sick. You know, I haven't been able to play the game in the last few months, but the 2 times that I got to play it, I mean, it made a pretty good impression. I'm dying to try the new 2v2 mode because I think this game will be. It was pretty hectic in 1v1. I think it would be insane in 2v2 in like a good way. So. Yeah, I really liked the approach that they took with Thousands TV with the game loop for this specifically. So it'll be interesting to see, like, we'll be able to get 2 use cases out of it, right? Because we'll be able to look at, like, Revenge just doing it with Twitch, and then we'll be able to see Wildcard that's kind of taking more of an indie route that they have a little more control over. So it'll be cool, man.
Yeah, they're building their own platform to do it. What they're doing with Twitch, essentially, which I think is pretty cool, man. The little body on the stage gives me the vibe of like back in the day, the Xbox 360 used to have kind of like the. You guys ever seen that Wii arcade thing, but for the Xbox, essentially, where you can build like different Olympic games,
Xbox arcade,
the Xbox arcade thing, where it had a similar feature where your friends or like different avatars could be in the crowds like that and like be cheering like that. Yeah.
This game really cool. Reminds me of Monday Night Combat, which I used to play the fuck out of on the Xbox 360 back in the day. Yeah, I used to love it.
I actually love the way Wildcard looks, and I have big respects for the team over there, but I've always been confused on how to be more involved or how to become involved with Wildcard. You know, how to access the game, how to play it. You know, how to be a little bit more informed of what updates are coming out and stuff like that. And I know they're probably gonna hit us up with the Discord thing, but like I'm just like, I have 75 Discord servers, dude. Like, you know, it's hard for me that. Like if I'm adding that kind of this Discord, I'm not using Discord type of thing. You get
man.
They need to
it's
have
hard
like,
for sure.
You need to have like some kind of content update or whatever, like videos. Videos are really, really useful these days, you know? Like a lot of people are doing a lot of shit. Make videos.
Yeah, devlog, man, dude. Devlog. I know do a lot of devlogs. I used to love watching that shit.
Real quick, actually, I forgot to mention they did sign to Arbitrum. So shout out.
Shout out to there you go.
So our old sponsors, Arbitrum. You know, much love to you guys. And yeah, I mean, let's clip it and ask them like, how can we do something together? Like, I'm sure Katie and Paul wouldn't mind answering the clip.
Oh no, yeah, I'm sure, yeah, and I'm sure that, bro, Katie and Paul are probably some of the busiest people that I've seen,
Yeah.
like building a game in Web3. But like at the same time, it's like Wildcard's been around since I joined the space, and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always
Yeah.
died to play this game, but I never had an easy way to do so. So hoping to get
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
man,
purpose.
it's-
Maybe that's purpose. Driven. Like I see from what I know, but I've never interacted with them. But what I know, there's like really accomplished folks, and maybe it's just like keep it quiet until we're really ready to put it on blast.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why I've never
Yeah.
I don't like speaking negatively about anybody or like any
Yeah.
game, because people go through different stages. But to me, it's like I'd rather games do this type of shit, right? Like if you're not ready to have,
Me
like,
too.
I don't want constant like windows of playtest. I want a completed product
Same.
that's fucking fun,
Mhm.
dude. So if you want to
Mhm.
stay quiet and not let anybody play your game until it's fully ready to your liking, then absolutely go for it. I cannot wait until it's ready for me to play it. But
Mhm.
it's just I can't
Yeah,
help
this looks
to
good.
think about it
Bro.
because I'm a creator, so I'm like, fuck, I want to
Yeah.
play this shit,
Yeah.
I have a really funny story to tell with this game actually. So, when we first joined Web3, Damien and I, we were just like a random dudes, right? Like no one knew who the fuck we were, and this was Damien's like the game that he wanted to play, like the game that he wanted to try, and it was like mid 2023, and it was like Ready Player DAO was hosting this event where they were letting certain content creators try it. Obviously, at the time we had like 500 followers on Twitter. Like we didn't get it, and Damien was like so salty that in late 2023, when we were trying to create some hype for a tournament that I was hosting at Paladins, right? So we put together a tier list because we knew that tier lists are really good
Oh,
at
dude, I
getting
remember
attention.
this. I
Yeah.
remember this.
And
So
we were
funny.
like, all right, how do we drive attention? Because we had zero marketing budget, right? So we were like, all right, if we do a tier list right before we start announcing this big tournament, everybody will start paying attention to Paladins. I pitched an idea to the team. Everybody was like, fuck it, go for it. But I didn't tell everyone how we were going to rank the tier list. So I think we put Illuvium at like F.
Dude, it was like B tier.
And-
Yeah, I was like, oh
and
my
then-
god, bro.
And then we put Wildcard at B or A or something. That was literally only because Damien hadn't gotten to play the game. And oh my god, dude, Katie got so fucking pissed. She was like, "Who is the intern at Paladins?" She was like,
How has he played our game? That's very
Yeah.
interesting. I remember the
Yeah.
comments. Dude. That shit was so funny.
Dude, that shit was funny as hell. So, I mean, this game has always had at least Damien's attention, my attention. I know everyone here. I know everyone here has like definitely like I tried it and I felt like it did match the hype. I did enjoy the game a lot. So shout out to them. But they've always been like super approachable whenever I've talked to them. So I mean, yeah, we should definitely clip this and ask like, how can Catalyst like just go play Wildcard?
I think that they just mislabeled their experience too, because they labeled it as like a card game, but it feels more like a MOBA than a card game.
Bro, yeah, I mean, it feels the one thing I will say, it feels almost like soccer, but like a MOBA, but like there's cards. I don't know, but then it kind of like has this look to it that kind of reminds me of
Well,
Overwatch.
I get it, man. It's like a
Yeah.
shooter. It's very similar to Sparkball in a way because it's not just like a regular MOBA, right? But like it's like you gotta understand, a wild card is somebody that can make an impact like out of nowhere, right? Like so that's kind of like what it means. Like you have this team of heroes that one of you guys can be a wild card and win the game type of shit. That's how I take it at least. Like I don't think it's poor branding. I think there's multiple approaches that could have gone. But if you're just taking it as like I'm expecting this to be a TCG, then yeah, you're gonna be disappointing.
Yeah, it's nothing like a TCG, and I love that it wasn't like a TCG.
I'll never
I'm tired
forget.
of TCGs, man. I'm good with.
I'll
TCGs.
never forget when we had that event. I think it was at Paladins, and Hotto pulled up to play Wildcard. He was like, "This isn't a TCG." I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, like they didn't understand how to like categorize their own games. So that's why I was like saying, like it's not what they think it is, and it's even better.
Yeah, the way that I've explained Wildcard to people, it's like a summoner MOBA with a sport component.
Yeah.
I like that description.
No.
You know what was funny too about your tier list, man? You put Illuvium at like a D tier when Illuvium was like the most chill game possible.
Oh yeah, dude, it was at its
you get
peak.
me?
Yeah.
I'll never forget that shit, dude. Like, I'm like, oh my god, bro, this man just like destroyed this brand completely.
It was at its peak. Everyone was like, "What the fuck?" I mean,
Which,
people
to
were
be
telling me to
fair,
kill myself. It was funny. as fuck.
I've never gotten to play, and I've played all versions of Illuvium. I've never gotten to play that game at a version where I would consider like an S tier or A tier. You get me?
Yeah.
I think the game would have had extremely big potentials if they wouldn't have focused on such a big ecosystem, which
Yeah.
kind of goes back to like our original like conversation when we started the episode, and like the leading points that are coming up now is that, bro, in my opinion, I just feel like a lot of people in Web3 overcomplicate shit, you know?
So much.
And it's like
Way
they just
too
try
much.
to choose so much on more than they can take. You get me? And it's like, bro, like it's a little bit ridiculous, and that's kind of like what we're seeing. A lot of these games just closing down, bro. It's kind of depressing, to be honest with you. But let me pull up the tweet that you put out the other day, Missy, where you were kind of talking about like the thing that bothered you the most about all these games closing down and shit. So if you want to get into that, let me just pull it up real quick.
For sure, man.
But yeah, you tweeted out the other day, kind of like saying like your frustrations about all these games recently closing down. And like it's basically that you feel like no one took really like risks when they were building.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a student first and foremost with everything, right? Like that's how we learn. So when people succeed or people win, it's not like I'm an aspiring game dev. It's not like I'm sitting here trying to solve, fucking peace or anything, like, world peace. I'm just trying to learn. I'm just trying to learn from mistakes that people have made. So that way, if a game dev asks me like, hey, what's worked, what hasn't worked, I have an answer, right? And then I'm like going through all these games that have been, shutting down, and this is all regular parts of gaming. Completely understand. But at the same time, we're in crypto and Web3 gaming. So if you're going to fail or if you're going to shut down, it would be nice to have something to learn, right? So that way I can use it as a use case. I can pull it apart. I can write a thread about it, something. Yep. And none of these games really had that. It was very frustrating for someone that is obsessed with learning in any way possible, because I don't have anything to take away from the experience. The takeaway was that you guys didn't take any risk. So, of course, it didn't happen because for example, in the case of Neon Heroes, which is a game that I have been a huge fan of publicly, and I have no regrets about it. Like, I thought the game was fucking cool, but they didn't take any risks. They launched the token. They had the NFT. They never introduced skins. They never introduced like the itemization system that they were supposed to have. And I don't know, like they did close all these esports deals like Fnatic and all these fucking orgs. And it's like, I would have rather them spent the couple 100,000 or, however much that cost. I would have rather them have spent that on integrating crypto and actually trying to be innovative outside of just the game loop, because you're going against Overwatch, you're going against Marvel Rivals, you're going against all these other games. You need something to stick out, man, outside of just like, we can jump off walls as cats, which was cool. I loved it.
Well, and the problem was this, that they did more updates, and instead of like the experience getting dramatically better, it got kind of like a little bit worse because the optimization suffered from it. You get me? And it's like, and that's one of the points when it comes to developing that a lot of people don't understand either too. It's like sometimes when games do updates, they're looking to fix and bring the experience to more life, but that update may fuck up the experience itself. You get me? Because it fucks with other components of the games that team might have not been prepared for, or maybe they just weren't thinking about it, or like it wasn't like a problem before. You get me? So now it is, and that hurts your player base when you're in a stage of the game that is like a window to test it out. You get me? Because nobody's gonna talk about it, bro. Nobody's gonna make content about it.
And also, what ruins the game too is like you're bringing it back and taking it away, and bringing it back and taking it away. Every time you take it away, you make me take my interest away every single time.
Yeah, man. And then
okay, whatever.
Oh, go ahead, Doc.
I mean, like objectively, if you do your TGE, your game is live, right? You can't still be like in a forever beta test or early access, like that's optics, right?
Yeah.
That comes with that. So I mean, and if you can't monetize past that TGE, there's a couple things. Like you do TGE, your funding's over, right? I mean, like you're better off not to do it and keep getting funded and get the money to put in the NFTs or whatever went wrong. I can't speak on what happened, but I mean, there's like optics of when you launch and what you're doing. And I think that, that decision to bust out that token, man, that's a big one in this space. And you got to know that as soon as that's done, it's a completely different paradigm. Like you were in a different everything.
Then we have like I mean, there's so many games that close, right? We have like Shatterline. They're like Shatterline's like we're going single player, so technically they didn't close, but it's like, bro,
but I mean, like, what's the fun, man?
So
I like that game.
Shatterline with that, it was just like, man, you guys didn't take any fucking risks, and why are you folding before you even got into the battle? Like. And that team that was running that marketing talked a lot of shit, bro. They talked a lot of shit about how they were going to onboard all the Web2 creators, and I mean, they were creating a whole narrative around how this was even going to replace like the content creators around our space. Like it was hostile, I transparently said I took a deal with Shatterline. I wasn't thrilled about like how the experience went. It was very much like, oh, you're blessed to have this opportunity. And then, after like a couple of weeks, it didn't sit well with me. So I just gave away all the money. And I was like, fuck it. I'll just throw up one last montage, give away all the money and be done with it. And it was just weird, dude. Like the way that they handled everything on the back end, then the way that they treated the community when the community would give feedback, because this game already failed in Web 2. So there was no risk in you coming to Web 3 because you have nothing to lose. So you might as well experiment as much as you can with the crypto and blockchain side of things. They did nothing. Yeah. So it's just, again, like me being someone that like I troll around and I fuck around and I do a lot of stupid shit, but I am at heart a fucking nerd. And if somebody's going to do something in this space, like, I know about it more as early as I can, and I'm doing research like crazy. I'm sending DMs to people that I know that are focused more on the blockchain side of things and asking them their thoughts. Like, I'm doing everything I can to learn. And with all of these closures, there isn't a single takeaway that I had, which was really depressing for me.
Yeah.
So it's just been frustrating, man.
Yeah,
and then like
frustrating, bro. Because then it's like a lack of product too to the space, right?
Yeah.
Like, for people like us who are like more like on the creative side, right? Like it's like, dude, it's hard to add on to the space in that side of things of entertainment, even education, right? Like showing people how to interact with products or like navigate an ecosystem when there is no fucking products to do it with, right? Like it's like even like it made me happy when you said that Wildcard was going to Arbitrum, because even when we were working with Arbitrum, there was hurdles sometimes of like, yo, like what product is in this ecosystem that also we feel proud of pushing, right? Because like there's an ecosystem like Ronin, for example, right? If we were ever to work with Ronin, I would have to be extremely careful, me personally, myself, because you all know how I feel about the experiences currently in Ronin. You get me? And it's like, dude, I can feel comfortable pushing that, like, so it's like hard when you have this shit happen, because it's products that have like a good chance of making something good, and then they fucking make a mistake, or they don't do they don't handle their funding well, or they spend it on stupid shit that ends up with the product closing, and it makes our jobs or like our interaction with the space, kind of cease to assist, right? Like, it's like I feel like a lot of creators probably go to the mentality of like, dude, do I make content with these products and continue to try to be a voice in the space, or do I just take a chance in the risk of building in the traditional market and try to like fight the saturation that's happening there with the hope that I go viral with something and have a career? You get me? Because it sucks, man, like for creators, like to not have things to use in their craft, essentially. So
yeah, man. I mean, I would say a lot of the Web3 creators, and this is like it is shots, but it's not shots. Like a lot of them just don't care that deeply. Like a lot of them, it's like whatever we can get attention for. I mean, you saw it with Laudio, right?
Well, yeah, I'm not, bro. I'm not talking about the 90% of the people in this fucking space. I'm talking about the 10% that are actually fucking worth mentioning and like actually creating dope shit. Even if it comes to content, you get me? Because that's another thing, bro. I cannot stand half of the content that I see in this space. But
yeah, I mean, content's like a very far reach for a lot of it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, man. So I mean, yeah, it's something that I think for the ones that are into that, like we've seen Bryson go through it. We've seen like even Spike, he had that whole time where he wanted to become like Counter Spike, or it was like Crunker Spike and shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've seen other creators like go through it, and I definitely think no matter how, like, I don't think being a Web3 creator is the answer. Like, I think Web3 is just another medium for you to add to your repertoire, right? Like, for example, like I didn't start creating content until I started doing it with you guys. So I'm really new to a lot of this stuff. I think I've been creating content now for a year and a half, right? Consistently. So I kind of had to, like, as I've been working on like where do I want to take Mizzy as a content creator, like I've had to learn like essentially content creation is almost like a theme page or an aesthetic or a vibe that you want, and then you find ways to fit things within that theme and that aesthetic, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
So for example, like I was making Damien and I were at the hospital yesterday, and we were just like talking about content, and we were just like, it would be really cool for someone to make a brand as like a space cowboy, and then they like post about like spaceship stuff, because you have Elon Musk on Twitter, right? So anytime he's talking about going to space or doing something in space, you can technically talk about that. Then you play all these space themed games, and you can also play like outlaw and like cowboy themed games as well. So it's like now that can exist in Web 2 or Web 3, right? But you have people that are going to resonate with your brand or your aesthetic or your vibe and be like, oh, I fuck with this guy just because his vibes are cool as fuck. Like, and if he's in Web 3 and he plays a game that fits within the theme of what his brand is, that's cool. If he's playing something in Web 2 that fits within the theme of what he stands for and what he likes, that's also cool. So we were just like, it would be funny, like how would a Space Cowboys page look? And it'd be like, well, they would talk about outlaw shit, right? They would be like, okay, look at what these guys just, how sometimes you see those bizarre videos where someone like went into a store and stole something and they have it like sitting on the roof of their car. Like that's like technically outlaw shit. So they could like laugh about that and have a good time. But then they could be like, oh, look, we're going to Mars. And then like the day right after decide to go play Star Wars because it's like a space themed game. So we were like figuring out like what I do when I'm learning things is I create a lot of like, almost like simulations or like concepts to learn like how deep can I build like this world of like what this content creator would look like or what this concept would look like, because then I pick it apart and I like that's how I know how to be able to give other people advice or apply it myself. So I think like hopefully we start seeing people pick up on the meta of like, this is what I am and this is what I stand for. And
man, exactly, dude.
That,
I feel you 100%. I mean, like I specifically put out tweets. It's just like, this isn't a personal brand. I'm just a person. I'm not here to fucking, I don't have the biggest presence, whatever. Right. I talk about whatever I want to because I like to talk about it. And I put my twist on it because that's just me. This is just me talking about shit that I like. Like it could be breakdancing, it could be drum and bass music, it could be a game, it could be whatever, it could be thoughts, talking about a powder. Yeah, baby. I mean, all day, junkless, all my life, man. Like 35, 20 years, man. So I mean, like, but it's just like we need more personality. We don't need content creators. We need personalities who are showing the best parts of like what it is to be in this, this bubble, this domain or whatever. Like what's important to you. I mean, like that's what it is. Like, what is the defining spirit of people who gravitate towards here? It cannot be fucking chasing bags of money around.
No, bro, no. And
No.
to you guys' point, everything you guys are mentioning is the core of content creation, right? Like,
Yeah.
if we look back to, like, I'm sure we've all had this experience. Like, if I look back at like my favorite YouTube creators that I followed throughout the years, right? They weren't trying to be a content creator, like you said, Doc. They weren't trying to be a personality. They were just themselves, and they were pushing that through video content and different outlets, like Missy was mentioning, right? Like different variety, like whether I'm doing a stream playing a game, or like I'm doing a blog where I'm showing you my day-to-day life, or I'm doing a podcast where we're talking about a topic, whatever it was, right? I'm following this personality because I enjoy their version of themselves that they're showing me through this outlet, right? And that to me is like what it is, man. And to your point earlier, Doc, it comes with a level of like being able to be comfortable stepping outside of your comfort, because that's another part that content creation brings that you have to be okay with. To like what Missy was saying, right? Like the space cowboy content creator, to be able to accomplish all of those ideas and be able to talk about those topics and do those type of content, you have to be okay stepping outside of your comfort, right? You can't live in your comfort, because you can continue learning if you're doing that, bro. Like you can continue getting better at what you need to do, you know. So
you have to be comfortable being you as well, man. Like that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest lesson. It's like being able to just be your authentic self and just think, you know, like I'm going to do this, and people might like it or might not, but I'm just going to continue to be me. And you know, there's no tips or tricks for how to be you, right? It's just like a decision that you got to make, and then figuring out something that you want to do, you know, around that. One of my favorite, and it was just a dude being him, because he played sandbox games the way I did, which was trying to do a bunch of fucked up shit. Was Gray Still Plays, man. He played like every sandbox game ever and just tried to make the most like ridiculous scenarios happen, you know, like roller coaster shit where you just like make people scream and vomit, and like how far, like that's how I like to play too. But it was just him like being an asshole in a game, you know. And I was like, I would watch that. That's like the only content creator I used to watch a lot, because I was just like, this guy does it like me. You know, how many people can we stack on top of each other and then run a car into? You know, it's like that kind of like just dumb shit, right? And, you know, it's like, and it was just a dude just narrating him playing games, and I mean, I appreciated that.
Well, that's like, to me, that's like some of the best content you can find, right? When you find somebody that is like similar to your game style or something. Like I remember the Red versus Blue back in the day with Halo and shit, you know, like that. Bro,
Sarge.
Like like, you know, it's hard to find that nowadays. But anyways,
man. It's, I don't know, like a lot of people, when I talk to them in this space about content, they always bring up like, oh man, for your account size, your like impressions and stuff is great. Like, brother, you know how many times I had to tweet to myself like to get there? You know what I mean? Like I got, if you look at my account, I got like I think like 30,000 tweets or something. Like there was like a good year where it was like just me, Damien, and like fucking liking my shit, you know, like it was just, it wasn't, and it was because I wasn't willing to fold on talking about the things that I found important or being myself, right? It was like everyone here, they fish for that retweet, they fish for that. How can I talk about this project that's gonna give me a part of their impressions or their shares, right? Because like and these conversations come up a lot in deal flow and things like that. And it's like, okay, bro, if you're talking about a game that's going to give you a retweet, 80% of the viewership isn't yours, it's theirs, right? Like, let's call it for what it is. If you're an account with like 5K, they have 50K, that piece of content does 10K. Really, 2K of the impressions maybe came from you. Where I was always like, I just want to talk about anything that I care about, because that's what my account is for, right? And if people like it, then cool. If I'm talking to just myself, then cool, whatever. Like, I'll eventually find my
That's
tribe,
usually
you know, like
what I do.
Mizzy, and another thing that you've talked about too is like being a student of the game and stuff like that. Content doesn't always like stay the same. It sometimes evolves or gets better or worse, whatever. So you have to like adapt to all those trends and like see what's like kind of hot and what's not hot. And then also like you got to make the conscious decision. Do I really want to go down into this ecosystem for all that quote unquote clout, right? So like really being true to yourself at the end of the day is how you can like decipher these things.
For sure, man. Half the shit I even post has nothing to do with anything in this industry. It's just like, here's some cool art. Like, here's some other weird shit. Here's some Japanese synth.
Well, those are the people that I'm turning notifications from, bro. Like, what happens is when you do this in your timeline, right? Like every fucking tweet starts looking the same when you start looking for that retweet, bro. It's fucking annoying.
Of course, man. But it's like, I'm not a content creator. I mean, I could, and I thought about it. And I like to do interviews and stuff like that. I like to share I haven't done it for a long time, but I like to share my, whatever peace of mind. But I am a builder, and I'm trying to, build something that matters. And but I'm not going to sit there and have to tell you why it matters all day. I'd rather tell you who I am, and then the product, and have that transfer to the product itself, and then know like, hey, you know what? I watched this guy, and he talks about cool stuff. He's never out there doing whatever, and like I get what they're trying to do. I want people to get what I'm trying to build because you understand who I am. And that to me is more important. Fuck all these yaps and craps and claps and snacks or whatever the fuck's going on. I don't even give a shit, man. It's like, who are you yapping to? There's nobody here. There's nobody here. And it's just, it's like, what I could do with the money that these companies are giving to this stuff, man. Like, I could build the best shit ever and help everybody, right? It's just like, it's like the Yap thing, dude. And I'm just going to say this. It's like everyone got pissed off at KOLs for taking deals, right? And making like 6-figure deals and all that kind of stuff, right? So like everyone, we blame you, man. You told us to buy this stuff. What do? Hey, man, we're going to give everybody a chance to talk about this now. But the people with the biggest accounts and the biggest mind share are still going to get the lion's share of the rewards. But now it distributes the blame on everybody else trying to get their like $20-$50 from yapping and shit. That's how I see it, man. It's just like it's just more horse shit.
It's another layer to the pyramid scheme, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's just you just get the money to go around some more. I mean, whatever. That's all going to get cashed out anyway. But man, we got to do better than that. Like, this is stupid. I don't even like Twitter. I can't like the other day. I'm serious, man. The other day, guys, I'm not even lying. Like, I was scrolling through and I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, legitimately, like, is this all this is now? It's fucking horrible. This entire, and I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second. This entire culture of being in Web3, it's like, this was supposed to be an allergic reaction to like a blockchain, to like sovereignty and stuff like that. Web3 was supposed to be this like thing. Man, it's like the closer you try to get to having something that's consumer ready, the more you become like it. And we've lost the thread of why we're supposed to be here in the first place. And it's it's so fucking disgusting end to end with few exceptions that sometimes I'm just like, what the hell is going on? So that just means that more people like the, just got to get loud and be like, this is dumb. This is dumb, man.
I kind of agree with you to a point because Twitter, I've always said this, bro. Twitter's been an app for forever. And it was a big app for gaming in particular too. But when crypto came around, bro, it kind of like fucking polluted the entire app. So like now people know Twitter more as a news app and as a crypto app than they do as a social app. You get me?
True.
It's fucking crazy to me because
that's why I try to use it like social media, man. That's why.
That's why
I try to use it like
the world of Twitter that people don't even know about because they're just so fucking tunnel vision into CT that it's like this is Twitter, this is X, and it's like no, dude, like
no, it's not.
Would you ever point anybody if you're like, tell me about the Web3 industry? Would you ever go, yeah, man, just go check out Twitter. You'll learn everything you need to know. Hell no.
I direct them directly to products that I believe in. You get me? I would never be like, here's download X and you'll know everything about Web3.
Bro, it's the antithesis like good information. It's like it's the thing that you just like.
And part of the reason I don't do that, dog, is because I'm very against like the short-term memory education thing that we try to push in CT when it comes to Web3. I've always, and Missy and Hato can tell you because I'm probably super annoying with this shit, but I've always been screaming that if you want to be involved with Web3, you have to put in the time to learn about it, bro. There is no fucking 5-second video, 2-minute video that can teach you this technology, bro. It's just impossible. It's like it doesn't work. I know that's how attention works, but it doesn't work.
I don't think it happens like it used to anymore. Like back in the DeFi summer, or even like, because I've been here since like 2018-ish, but let's say like 2019, especially after COVID, you popped into a Telegram or whatever, and people really spent time to help you understand like principles, because then it was just, it's all smart contracts and DeFi and, learning how like the mechanics worked and stuff like that. And we did ourselves a huge disservice with the meme coin cycle. I think that we do every time, because it ends at that. It gets, it's like we found out how to advertise the TikTok, man, and they're going to come in and they got their money, and then they're making TikTok videos only about how to launch meme coins and make some fast. It's not about like, hey, this is this technology, man. What these people are doing are so cool, because we stopped teaching new people about that in general. It's just like, yeah, it's a game and you can own a thing, and yeah, that's cool, but why is that really important? And I think that this is supposed to be, we got to bring like balance back to the force. There's got to be more like the grassroots kind of like, counterculture kind of mentality that's got to come back. I mean, this shit's like a direct extension of like phone freaking, like early hacking, like people that sit there and build like Radio Shack tone dialers so they could get free calls at the pay phone back in the day. We had one, we had a beige box, man. We go behind the pizza place, plug it into their phone thing, and call my weed dealer on it. But like that's the true spirit of what we're doing here, right? Yeah. It's like we got to make stuff that other people want to use. We got to make stuff that wants to have money. But if we don't fix the culture of like what we represent, it's got to change, man. It's just got to.
I agree, man.
I'm unhappy with it.
Well
100%.
said.
Anyway,
well, what made people unhappy too? Legends of Elumia recently announced that they moved to Immutable from Ronin, and that fucking sparked like a fucking war for the Ronin community. And I feel, don't quote me on this. This is not proven, but my opinion on this shit is because their only fucking game with an actual playable game loop fucking left their ecosystem. Now they're only left with pixelated shit that people just use for earning mechanics.
Well, you're taking shots at them.
Yeah, bro. I'll take a shot to Ronin any chance that I get, because I listen. Nobody's more disappointed about this fucking announcement than me. Okay, and not because I hate Elumia or anything like that. I love them. Like, I actually like their team. And I hope it goes well for them in Immutable. But I was looking and waiting for a game that wasn't pixelated to come to Ronin, bro. And I know they have play. What was that other game? Play Metalcore, I think is what it is.
No.
What is it? What is the other? No, the something arena, the Mex arena.
Oh, the Machines arena.
The Machines arena. Okay, I know that's not pixelated, but bro, I mean,
Bro, that was another project.
It's empty. Nobody's playing.
No.
Like,
I got hate for TMA. Honestly, like that was another project that at Paladin specifically, I hate to say this, but we did put them on. And they treated us like shit the entire time. So fuck you, TMA. But but yeah, man, like first of all, Clouds, that transition was gold. Like, I just gotta give it to you, bro. That transition.
You know how I do it.
That was beautiful. And then fuck it.
I saw your avatar laughing about it.
Yeah, I was dead, dude. Something that really did. I forgot what you said, but that shit was amazing. Anyway, but yeah, bro. I mean, I don't blame them for leaving, though. It like the way that the Ronin community handled the raffle was pretty fucked up. So, and they changed studios. Like the studio that went to Ronin was the old studio. This is a new studio,
and they were never exclusively on Ronin or even like signed with Ronin. It was just an access pass that they were doing with them.
It was a marketing gimmick that didn't work. It didn't take it didn't catch any fire or anything. You know what I mean? It just didn't do anything. And I'm gonna be honest. They've also talked about having multiple cities with different blockchain stuff, right? So I mean, we don't really know the full spectrum of what this move is. We just know that the main focus will be on IMX now. Solana ecosystem out of here. Well, sort of. There's a little bit of like gray area here, but if you have the NFTs, you're still going to get token rewards or something like that. We had Elumia on Boss Battle. Was it last Friday? Plenty of alpha there to go over. But there's also a group chat, a Telegram group chat that I joined, and they're talking about they're close to like launching the light paper. And by the way, this is a public thing, so this is not like this is alpha, but it's not alpha because it is public. Anybody can join the Telegram group and learn about Elumia and be a part of it. But it looks like they're going to be like having multiple cities that will have different chain focuses. So even though they aren't claiming they're going multi-chain, it sounds like they are thinking about going multi-chain. And then also, damn, I forgot the last thing I was going to say. But yeah, I understand why people are pissed. I get it. But at the same time, like, you can't really be pissed at, you can be pissed at like the Illumia product, but it's under new management. It's like whenever you live in an apartment building and somebody moves in and like now it's a new management. I've gone through this all my life. You know what I mean? So like, I understand why they're upset, but at the same time, like, I understand that there's new buyers here and they decided this is not the place.
I don't really understand why they're upset, if I'm going to be honest. Like,
it's because of the culture, but it's what we were talking about earlier. The culture in Ronin, the people in there, it's just earning and tribalism. Yeah, tribalism is a good word. You get me? But
yeah,
it's literally they're driven by earning. You get me? So that's what they're upset about at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, I just don't get why they're upset. Like,
they all are driven by earnings. So
yeah,
it's like where does your game work the best? What's fastest for what you need to do?
I'll be honest, I don't know why they went to Immutable. I haven't heard great things about Immutable outside of the Raven Quest team, but I also don't know why the Ronin community is upset. Like, any money that Elumia made from Ronin, they gave back through the passes. So it's not like they took anything.
Mm-hmm.
They held a pretty cool event. Then they sold to the new studio. The new studio honored the raffle and everything, even when the community was telling them that they were scamming. Like, they were in the middle of a transitionary period. Community's like, "Oh, you guys haven't rewarded us yet. You're scamming." They're trying to like settle in as a new studio. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't a great introduction either. And now they're going to Immutable. You know, I hope that does
maybe
well
they got
for
better
them.
marketing deal. Maybe they got better support over there. If it's a new studio, I mean, it's like totally. I mean, it's all you. If the fans of the game, all they need to worry about is that these guys are going to be able to monetize this and make more money outside of whatever.
Right.
Like,
I don't think the people that are mad. I don't think the people that are mad are the fans of the game. They're still with it. It's the people on Ronin that are just mad.
Ecosystem people, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think, for example, like, I know that they announced that they were going to be on Arbitrum, so I was a little confused. Like, are they on Arbitrum? Are they Immutable? I don't really give a fuck where the game is. I just want to know what the strategy there was.
I believe the NFTs would be on Arbitrum. That's what I believe, but I could be wrong. And like the EKS token itself as well will be on Arbitrum.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, that'll be interesting to see. I mean, I like the game. I would like more content.
Yeah, same.
That's all I really care about. Like, I want more content because I can't run the same 3 dungeons forever.
They added a new Ragnarok thing, and I soloed it with like I bought some EKS token and converted to Dust and Solana. And I played the solo. It's not a solo thing, but it's like just a giant boss that you fight. And I soloed it myself. So that's like the newest thing they have. But it's kind of a short-lived experience. And you get a bunch of loot, but like it's not an area to roam around. It's just like a boss to fight.
All right, cool. Yeah. And then now that they have, you know, the focus has always been free to play. And I know they always wanted mobile for that title. So it'll be interesting to see how they continue with that. And now that it's a different studio and it's not going to be tied to the NFT, I wonder how the class system is going to work. Classes are going to introduce like town trees and things like that. Those are some of the things that I'm interested in finding out. But I could care less about what chain it's on. I would just like to know like what the plan is, and with them having these multi-chain experiences with like Solana, Arbitrum, Immutable. How do I like, you know, how you mentioned the alpha that they dropped on Boss Battle, how there's like different cities that represent different chains. That's a cool way to do it. So yeah, man, you know, I think at this point just have patience. They've been building, and I like the new studio. They seem pretty cool. So
the last thing I'll say about the NFTs themselves, that will be your gateway to being able to access EKS. So you would have to have NFT ownership to get like the AKS. If you don't have it, you can't get it because they're going free to play as well.
That makes sense. So it's like opt-in crypto kind of experience. That's dope.
Right.
I like that, man. It's offering that natural discoverability into using the technology, you know, which I'm always down for. Like, for the people that just want a game to play, they're gonna have the free to play version, you know, and they can just play the game. But if you want earnings and all this stuff involved, get into the space and be in both, you know.
But they definitely need more content. Mizzy is correct.
Oh no, yeah, that's definitely bad.
How big's the studio though? Because I see they've got 3 games that they run now.
Yes, they do have 3 games.
Elumia.
Yeah,
that's like
so they said that they have like around 30 to 40 people working on Elumia, and that they said they rehired most of the team that they bought the game from. So most of the same devs are working on the game. They have a little bit more manpower now, but they're still gonna be taking a while with 30 people to build MMO, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, cool. I mean, I just see that Triumph has 3 games under their belt. So it's just
another thing that I wonder too, because with Illumia, what impressed me about them when we were first talking to them really early on, right, is that Illumia already has like a library of assets that they developed through, so they never needed a big team because they had like a library of assets already available to them that they can pull from. You get me?
Okay. Yeah.
So I wonder if with the acquisition, like the studio also had access to the library as well. You get me? Like that database, because that makes the development a lot easier to accomplish.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that would be interesting to learn more about this stuff.
Yeah. So yeah.
That was a good question we did not ask on Boss Battle.
Yeah, man. I wish I was around. I would have asked it. But anyways, another thing that came into the space is that, and by the way, shout outs to our team at OG Magazine, keeping us in track with all these amazing news, because this actually makes my job easier on the show.
Shout out OG Mag team. You know who you are, interns.
Yes, shout out to all of them. But another thing that came into the space is that AVAX announced that Balcony Tech is bridging basically the biggest real estate transaction that we've seen on chain ever, and I think it's one of the biggest transactions period on chain. You get me? It's $240 billion in real estate that's coming on chain, which I thought was fucking insane, dude, because one of the things that I've always kind of said about this space and this technology since I joined is that the real estate industry was going to be a leading force to real mass adoption of when it comes to using this technology to solve real life pain points. You get me? Not just digital collectibles or fast transactions for token tradings, whatever the case was being, right? But actually fixing real life world pain points, real estate, for example, which I thought was really cool that they announced this partnership. But have you guys heard about this or read about this stuff?
I think it's incredible, man. I mean, this is the true. I really like Avalanche for everything they've been doing. They've got the DMV stuff. They've got this. I mean, they're really working to push the ethos of just this isn't there's cryptocurrency, there's blockchain, there's Web3, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But tokenizing or just putting, using the blockchain ledger to keep accurate records and stuff like that is one of the absolute best money saving, transparent, legitimate things you could ever do. Yeah, I love to see it.
And also just the speed and the making things more seamless, right? Because like this sentence right here too, I'm involved in real estate a lot, man. So this to me was fucking a wonderland to my ears when I heard it. You get me? But things like desettlement, right? Dropping from 90 days to 1, that's bro, it makes such a big impact and difference for people that are investing or just doing things in real estate, So I thought it was great, man. Shout outs to Avalanche and the people working on this partnership or this movement.
If I could add 2 more sectors of real estate, Proppy is a really big ecosystem when it comes to I guess the speed of what it would take to do all the paperwork to signing homes and stuff. They're working on closing it, exactly. Yeah,
so closing,
they found ways to speed it up with blockchain. I also heard that this is a rumor, so it's not 100%, but Dubai or United Emirates, those areas, they're looking to use XRP Ledger to put real estate on there as well. So everyone's turning into that thing you're talking about. Yeah, it's kind of interesting with the time with AVAX with this announcement, because it just seems like the industry is working in secret, and then out of nowhere, all this fucking pile of news just comes out at the same time.
Yeah, of course, man. But that last tweet, you took it down, but the last tweet on that thread was this isn't just whatever. This is the beginning of putting government on blockchain. And I think that's the real thing. The news here is that it's in the US. It's not because like Dubai's got the regulations. They've got all that stuff clear to do, like RWAs and real estate, all that stuff. But for this is like what, 5 counties? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counties in New Jersey, right?
Yep.
That's just like, that's nothing. And
that's like a tiny speckle.
Ton of money, right? But I mean, this is where it starts, and it will continue for sure. Like,
and to your point, Hado, that's
the Bitcoin reserves. It's stuff like this.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, like real use case scenarios, man. Like that's what blockchain was meant to be, in my opinion. You get me? And to your point, Hado, like this type of stuff, bro, is just we're gonna see it happen a lot more, because that's how government mass adoption works. You get me? You don't see it like this open development that we see with Web3 gaming, for example, right? Like where everybody has an opinion. No, bro, it just happens. And then it takes. They've been working on this probably for like the last 5 years, and we didn't even knew about. You get me?
Oh,
and
for sure. No,
now it's being implemented, and when it's implemented, it's like it just gets done, and it gets the ball rolling.
The only thing that ever gets leaked into community is like PDFs for like trial period stuff, right? But we don't know exactly when the go live date is, and I think I find it really interesting. It's like everyone has like a group chat. It's like, hey, all right, Avalanche, XRP, Solana, Proppy, all these other entities, this is the date where we get to like unveil all this shit, right? Because everyone has like NDAs and deadlines and shit. So I just find it funny how 1 minute everything's on fire because we're dumping, and the next minute we have all these announcements. Everyone's so bullish again. They're like, oh, we're so back. It's like, dude, it's a game. Just fucking find your conviction plays, hold your conviction plays, and just read the news when it comes out. Stop worrying about this shit. Because it's all this is my opinion. It's all planned out to a certain degree. So like,
of course it is.
You're not on the fucking. You're not.
What do you think all these tariffs are about? It ain't about anything but getting the Bitcoin price low, so we can scoop up as much as possible, right, as a nation state or companies. BlackRock, whatever, man. I mean, that's my opinion. Got nothing to do with any of that shit, dude. Because you can't crash it. It's the only way you can drop the price is by crashing the rest of the economy.
Pretty much. It's been interesting to see. And no, I to jump back into the real estate stuff real quick. Clouds, I completely agree with you. Like I've actually been talking to a real estate based RWA project recently through my friend Monique. They're called T-RIZE. And I'll share screen real quick. This is not a shill. Yes, they do have a live token, but I'm not gonna give you the ticker. And they're really into like bringing assets onto the chain. They're actually going to be funding like real estate development projects through the blockchain. And they're doing everything legit, where it would be accredited investors signing up. People are going to be able to bring real estate projects and things like that they have that they want to share basically with the community. And the community would be able to fundraise the project and kind of keep tabs on it through their platform. So I've been talking to that team quite a bit. Shout out to Madani and the rest of them. They're really cool. They recently launched on Base. They were going to potentially do something with Avalanche, but Base ended up kind of being a better fit for them. But yeah, there's a lot of movement happening behind the scenes with the real estate section of things, and it's pretty cool to see.
And just a quick note, Ripple also acquired Hidden Road like a month ago, and they're like a multi-asset prime broker for like $125 billion just in April alone. And like we're seeing a lot of like this movement of like on-chain activity, and you guys have like talked about it, like government, the first steps of government like onboarding themselves. We should all take solace in the fact that we ran Wall Street and government on all this shit, because like they're coming in now and like bringing the big guns. And I mean, it's going to get insane. Like this summer is going to get insane with like announcements, price movement, all sorts of shit. Like the DeFi scene is going to explode again. So much shit is going to pop off, in my opinion.
I agree, man. It's going to be a return to DeFi. It's going to be fueled by stable coins because, that's like the key. And I think that banks are going to go back to almost like a pre-Fed, there used to be like national banks would make regional notes that were, So I think we're going to have like a lot of intermediary stable coins. created for like accounting, and since banks now the regulations with like holding and custodying crypto is lessened, all that stuff's going to come together. Like my homie just built this incredible like DAO engine for like small medium-sized businesses. They're trying to build solar farms, at like a 0.5 megawatt, like data center, like is insane stuff with it, man. Like it's gonna happen. This stuff's going to happen.
Yeah, no, and I agree, man. Like, and this is a part of the space that I love, dude. Seeing stuff like this T-RIZE group that Mrs. joined. Like, I'm actually gonna give these people a follow on Twitter because I think it's super dope that they're doing this. But in my opinion, bro, like this industry is like the bank industry, the real estate industry. These are one of the most controlled industries in the world, right? And when I say control, it's like that they're controlled by, I'm gonna use this word, boomer like led like suits that you can possibly find, right? Like this type of industries to make change happen take the longest time ever, and the only time that they listen or are interested in making change is when you make the transaction of money at a large capacity way easier and faster. You get me? And more available, and that's what matters here, and that's why I think it's gonna make, like, blockchain can make such an impact in this industries, bro. Just to give you an example, like, look at the real estate, right, bro? 90% of the homes that I see to this day, like on 2025, there's been remarkable advancement of like lockbox technology where you don't even have to be present at the home anymore. You can just use Bluetooth tech. Like, there's so much technology now, but majority of the homes to this day still have the traditional lockbox with a 3-digit combination that you have to pull the key out from. And it's because that is a massive part, like that's a massive business in revenue for that industry, for the real estate industry. It's part of like how that industry makes money from like the agents, but also from like consumers as well. You get me? So they don't want to change that, even though the technology, even though there's technology available that makes it easier and better, they don't want to change it because it's part of their business structure. You get me? But when you have technology like this, where it's like back end technology and it's just in your face, like, no, this is like gonna make this type of impact and it's beneficial to everybody, then it's hard to say no. You know,
I always foresaw like the apartment industry like turning on smart contracts for they need to be scalable, right? It can't be on ETH because it'll take it depends on how ETH does it with their updates. But anyways, it would be like if you don't pay your rent, like you're locked out type shit. I've always foresaw this dystopian thing where it's like I have to, like, your access to your home is now on chain as well. Yeah, it's kind of creepy thought, but like I really think someday we're gonna be there with apartments.
I wish it was that easy, man. There's so many laws, and it's all based on states. So like,
well, it probably won't happen in the U.S. first.
Yeah,
it'll probably happen elsewhere, and then the U.S. will be like the last to adopt it, like they always do.
For sure, man. But what I would say that is really cool about this project on like a tech level is I like how they're actually incentivizing devs and like help their AI tech stack to help them make investment decisions, so it's not biased. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how the experiment plays out. But I just feel like bringing them up because that's like the project that I've been talking to the most. That's like directly in real estate, and I like the approach that they're taking with like it being focused on like affordable housing and things like that. So these are the use cases that I always get really excited about, just like Clouds was mentioning, because this is the type of stuff that does drive the adoption. Like, obviously I believe in gaming, but this is like affordable housing being powered by the blockchain could help a lot of people out.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Especially in the economy we're in.
Can I
actually makes impact.
Can I share this this DAO thing with you guys? Because it's my homie that made it, man. He bootstrapped this thing for like 4 years, and what he's done here is called the One World Project. Like, since we're on this kind of like this thing here, One World Project, dude. They're 100% legal, internationally compliant. This isn't DAO's fun. This is like small, medium-sized business DAO creation engine. So you can join this and get an identity NFT that has all your skills and things like that. So it's like part exchange, part DAO creation, fully compliant, legal, part workforce. So when these DAOs get created, you can get staff to them, but they're all like high impact. Like the founder, he like, here's one of the things they're trying to do here, which is like this crap, what just happened? Why does it link out? Anyway, it's a data center, right? So they're like building solar farms in Central Europe somewhere for a village, and then having that run by a DAO, have the excess power, get pushed back into the DAO for like the city and things like that. It's all like high impact stuff, but you could use it for anything. But the founder, he's a big time electrical engineer. My friend Nick, man, super great guy. He's bootstrapped this entire thing. Like this is like it to me as a guy who's been here for a long time. This is the most like eloquent, well thought out, legally compliant, buttoned up thing for creating businesses in this space. And I just want to give them a shout out because they just kind of went fully live the other day. So I highly recommend checking it out though. It's really fucking cool. The DAO has even weighting, like voting power and all that stuff. No matter how much money you put in, like it's solid, and it's set up to legally share revenue because it's legally compliant and privacy and all that kind of shit. It's all baked in, man. So shout out to Nick and the One World Project team.
Bro, I love that shit.
Dude, it's seriously they deserve all the eyes.
Can you guys send me the links to those accounts like in our chats in Telegram so I can follow them after? I love shit like that, man. I want to see more of that. That's what, in my opinion, should keep the attention in our space is projects like these rather than some random fucking meme coin that fucking went viral and now everybody's just pumping. You get me? Like it's fucking hard,
and he's done that. He's done that with like no support, dude. Like he launched on Polygon just because it was the place to do it. Like you work with it. It was just like he funded this thing for 4 years, man. And like I just want to help him get eyes because it's so rad. You know?
Yeah, well, actually fix a shit ton of things. Yeah.
I will say this about meme coin communities, like depending on what community it is or you join, you might be surprised the amount of builders there in those communities sometimes.
Yeah,
a lot of them,
for sure.
A lot of them that make the most noise have nothing to say or do, and that's the problem. Because they have the most money.
There's great builders in all sorts of community, right? But it's just like the impact that a meme has, right? It's not gonna be the like impactful to like we're talking about right now, right? Like which is like real life like pain points that are gonna fix like society's use case to many things, man. Like just what Missy was talking about, like having affordable housing become more available, become more seamless to get access to those things. Like, you know how many people don't even know how to like start the process of a loan, and then if they get denied the loan to buy a home, right? Like what options do they have after that, right? Like a lot of people, they get denied by a loan and they're like, oh, we can buy, fuck it, you know, like let's just continue saving or some shit, you know, like without knowing other options may be available, you know. So
I would just say this, like I'm not too like familiar with the Solana or like Sui or Ethereum communities of meme coins, but the XRP ones I've seen, these are a lot of like people that have like real world jobs, and they've kind of like done like charity stuff events in the past and stuff. It's really interesting to see like the contrast between like the different communities, but I've been surprised in my own community, in the UGA community and XRP, where there's just like builders that are just building shit and like doing different shit. So I'm not saying that you're like discrediting them at all. I'm just saying like when you look out into different areas of the internet where crypto is involved, there's a lot of people doing different shit, and it's just really fascinating to me.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I agree, and I'm actually glad you brought up Solana because they recently announced a collaboration, I guess, with Frank Muller, the watch like company, which I think this is a little bit ridiculous but kind of cool at the same time. But what it got me thinking about was, do you guys think there's a comeback for digital items coming back? You know, because like people have been asking in the TL or NFTs making a comeback, like an NFT popping again, like as far as like PFP collections, NFT and stuff like that, right? But I see a world where it's like more like digital items, where it's like digital products that have blockchain tech somehow incorporated in it, right? Like even when it comes to a watch, like the authentication of like the watch being a real Frank Muller, or like, you know, telling you all the details about this watch being on chain and being like a digital collectible as well, is it's a big market for collectors in general. You get me? Like,
I think that what you've been saying for a long time, Clouds, that gamers want to show off cool shit, that still applies in real life too. So like absolutely. I've also thought that like the more that we have delivery on top of digital, the more it feels real. Because like there's something about digital that feels a little hollow and it's just digital. But like if you have something that's digital and physical, like that's going to be kind of like a status thing, right? Kind of like back in the day, having Bitcoin was a status thing. And that's how I see it. Like that new watch is going to be a status symbol. Is it a little cheesy or corny? Sure. But people still like see that status symbol and they can relate instantly. Oh, you're a Solana person. Boom. Let's have a conversation. So I think it's very sentimental.
No, 100%. Even like with the comic, if you're a comic collector and you go buy a rare issue or something, it'd be nice to have a digital I could read, because I'm never gonna. It's like you're gonna crack the Lexan on the graded case. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like the adult fantasy guys, man. They built not only, you know, for cards that actually like age, which is really cool, but if you get one of their comics, it actually comes graded in like Lexan, right? Which is really which is pretty. It
comes
badass.
Graded.
Yeah, yeah. If you get they have a grading system for like their rarity, so it could be like bent spines or like torn edges or whatever. So they come slabbed. Like if you get one of their NFT comics,
it comes in a top loader.
Then you get the link to read the real one. But I mean, like stuff with like watches, art, anything with provenance. I think there's a definite thing though. It's a good use for it, but it's just got to be something that. It's like you're gonna have to sneak it back in, you know, kind of thing.
And I would say there has to be like 2 levels, because like I would say this, like with the MetaQuest 3, that's like the retail level for like VR, and then there's the MetaQuest Pro, which is like supposed to be your enterprise use case, right?
Yeah.
And I think like the enterprise use case is gonna always make less money because there's less money to go around for that we're willing to try something new. But with retail, I mean, you're talking like walk around with the watch or something like that, like.
Yeah,
it's got to be affordable and luxurious at the same time, in my opinion.
That's
well, I mean,
true.
this type of stuff right here, like what we're saying on screen right now. This is speaking to a very niche, like targeted audience, right? Like this is only going to speak to the people that are like fans of Frank Muller watches, but also they got to be careful in the execution of like staying true to what people like about those watches in the first place, right? Like if they fuck up too much the design of it, or if they fuck with the design of it and people no longer want to like have it because it doesn't follow that standard, right? Then it's gonna be a failure, in my opinion. You get me? But at the same time, bro, when I see this watch, I think what people have always had an issue with Frank Muller in particular is that it looks exactly like a Richard Mille, but it's not, you know. And it's like
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. That's actually what I was gonna say. It looks exactly like Richard.
Okay, so imagine like Rolex, right, Hado? But it's like a watch that looks like Rolex, but it's not Rolex. You get me?
Oh, so it's like a knockoff.
Kind of, but Frank Muller is a reputable brand. It's not like a bad brand of watches or anything, which hence the $24,000 price point that we're seeing here. You know?
Yeah, like
but
I said, this
looks
is not
too much
affordable.
like the other watch. It just looks too much like the other watch, in my opinion.
This is just like getting the highest, rarest NFT type shit. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, like I said, man,
I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I think it is a cool.
It's cool, but not for $24,000.
Well, I mean, like, bro, it's like people that collect cars. They don't really look at the price tag. They're just, again, they care more about like, did this follow the architecture that we love about this company, right? Like, the watchmakers still,
but you know what?
Time to create this.
If you can afford it twice, you can afford it once, I guess.
Yeah, but you know, this kind of stuff has to be ubiquitous too, because I can go into the $25 bin at a comic store and I might be able to find that one weird issue that's in good shape and get it graded, and I just up the price by like $300. So I mean, like stuff like this is a great start, but it's not distributable and it's not ubiquitous. It's not marketable except to only a very certain thing. Like you could have put like, what's the game that it's back to gaming, but that Skylanders game, didn't that shut down? Right, it was like had physicals and you put them on the little board. You could have had blockchain stuff going on with that, and then you would have had a way to do things both ways, or something like even like Dungeons and Dragons stuff where like your character sheets update on the blockchain. It's got to be like simple, and it's got to be like, it's got to be something you can push out on the masses that's very, very simple. Like we're not to use and to operate. You can't just like cram a bunch of crazy shit and force it on these people. I think that's the biggest thing. Like even with the risk to me, like going back to what Mizzy said though, is like the risk is actually making something in this industry that isn't full of levers and switches and is actually addressable. That's the risk, right? And getting getting it funded, because it means you're not getting it funded on hype or whatever, like new fancy, you know, EIP or function or whatever came out. It's like we're going to use this. It's going to be super simple, But the point is, it's like, do you want one person to pay $5,000 for one NFT, or do you want whatever the math is, like 50,000 people to pay whatever, right? We have to get to the point that we're making stuff that 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 people want to pay a little bit amount of money for.
Into this. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I think it's also like, what was the purpose of this, right? Like, there's definitely collectibles that justify this price point, right? Like, it depends what the purpose of the product is. But to your point, Doc, what I think is, because I was going to ask this question and I wanted all of you guys' opinion to kind of end the episode with this one, but it was like, is Solana a driven force when it comes to like this type of digital collectibles, right? Because they also released the Solana phone back in 2022, and that came at a pretty fucking high price as well. And in my opinion, that product in particular wasn't justifiable enough for the features that it brought at that price points compared to like an iPhone, for example. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I want to drop that in a phone.
That's ballsy, man.
Yo, let me jump in on this. Let me jump in on this.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right. So with like, I want to speak from like Frank Muller's perspective real quick, right? Because when you're leading a luxury goods company, you always are thinking about, how do I acquire a new customer and where am I going to talk to them, right? Because when you are selling very expensive goods, you're only selling in specific locations, right?
Yep.
For example, you're not paying for TV ads because the person that makes that kind of money doesn't watch TV. You're trying to find unique ways to acquire these customers. So for Frank Muller, this is mainly trying to see if they can acquire any kind of crypto money. Right, like guys that make money in crypto. My critique on this watch is, this looks like what a normie would think a Web3 guy wants their watch to look like.
So
it feels a little cringe because of that reason. Dude. I think it could have been designed better if they actually had like a Web3 native jump in and help them design it, right? But on the flip side, what this does do for someone like a Frank Muller is, it also allows them to experiment with authenticity, because something that you really struggle with in the watch market and in high luxury good markets in general is authenticity. It's a very, very big issue. So now you have a way to say, hey, my Muller's authentic, because that's what the QR code's for, right? Then you have oh, go ahead, Doc.
I was just gonna say, I wonder when you talk about authenticity, but also authenticity of like the people you're trying to attract. I'm just curious, like, I wonder why Solana over anybody else, or maybe that's just how Solana's trying to position themselves.
I mean, I think it's
just the history of them making those type of products, right? Like, just
exactly
products with blockchain. It's like they have the phone, they've done the console, like all that type of shit.
Yes, I guess so.
What I find very interesting about something like this, in a world that likes to talk about marketing more than products, right? With Web3, right? Everyone loves to talk about marketing, very little about products. As someone that has, I've never been a marketer, but I've had, a history of being like a creative director. So you always think about marketing when you're doing creative direction. As someone that has had to target these very like niche, high spending kind of audiences, this is interesting to me, because this watch being on chain now allows me to potentially target their wallets, right? Which means if I want to get the attention of the people that would spend $24,000 on this collab, one thing tells me they're most likely going to be new money, because no old money would spend money on a watch this stupid, stupidly designed.
It's a good angle. This is a very Gen Z, just got rich on poopy
poop
coin.
This is gonna be a new.
Oh, you broke up there, Missy.
They're definitely most likely going to be willing. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back.
This is going to be a new money customer, because they're most likely willing to spend money on dumb shit. This is going to be someone that I know can spend $20,000 on a watch. So how can I attract their attention? By looking at what they're doing on chain. Can I launch a campaign that says to everyone that holds a Frank Muller watch, you're welcome to this whitelist. You can now be a part of this community. These are the things that make blockchain interesting to me. So that's kind of where I see this being cool. because now I can do a targeted ad to people that can spend $24,000 on a watch, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is
That's the real secret.
That's what I find really interesting and very cool from it. The design itself, yeah, guys, Frank Muller, whoever, Solana, please don't design it with a little more taste. Like, not all crypto guys are this cringe, but I like where they're coming from, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to your point, is just targeting the data of like, okay, now let's say this collection sells out, right? Now they have a brand new pool of people that are interested in buying watches like this, right? That can spend that price point and are interested in watches that are on chain, whether it's for authentic purposes or whatever the fuck it is. But I know I can drop a similar collection to this one, right? Like a few months, a year, whatever it is, and that pool of people that bought this watch will probably buy the second one as well, because again, it's building out that collection purpose, right? Like it's not just like a picture where you have to like the art. You're buying the watch piece because you're a fan of the brand Frank Muller, and you like the mechanics that comes with that watch. That's why people buy watches. It's not how they look or if they look good or not. It's just they're buying the manufacturer that's making the watch, essentially, you know?
Yeah. So. But what Mizzy said though, I mean, like that's the real secret. Like this goes back to what we were talking about before we went live with, you know, the power of understanding where people's money goes.
Yep.
And how that's going to change your personal experience and your targeted advertising and things like that. And people want to, it's like, this is the real nut to crack with anything consumer crypto. It's not just building the thing; it's understanding how to use the data that comes from it and drives it. Right. So I get that. That was a good take, though, Mizzy. Like that's good. The watch is poop, though.
Yeah, the watch.
Sorry, guys.
I would never put that shit on my wrist. I'm telling you right now, I would never.
I wouldn't even put it on my ball sack.
It feels like a dev kit. I don't know if you guys ever seen dev kits come out before the console comes out, but like the dev kit looks like shit. And then the real console comes out, and it's like, that's my PS3 or whatever. That's sick.
This
right?
is like
this is not my case to watch that over. Like,
remember when they released the phone from Matrix 2 that like flipped over? This is like Matrix 2. This is like the watch that should have come with it.
One thing I want to mention,
building some XR stuff, man, and personal computing. Though, speaking of like blockchain, I forgot. I just thought about this. It's like a phone-sized device or whatever, but it hooks up to XR glasses. They're putting an ASIC chip on it. For like low, like that's cool shit too, man. Like, so you're like out there, you've got your SIM card popped in, you're mining, you've got your glasses on, doing an experience or computing. That's
so
cool
close to Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, dude, it's like so Johnny Mnemonic, man. He's like, I'm making a phone call. You know, he puts all the glasses on. I gotta watch that one, man. That's a good. I see that for a long time.
We need more products, man. We need more products like this. But
more products, man. But we don't know how to market it. We don't know how to market it.
That is definitely true.
Nobody understands it because we've jammed it again with so much garbage and so much shit that we go, well, Web 2 people, they're gonna love this. Web 2 people, they want this. Web 2 game tips, they're gonna do. I don't see anybody inviting Web 2 anybody onto shows to ask them like this is the thing. No one's actually testing this. It's all based on assumptions to raise money off of hype.
Let's just release a Game Boy Android emulator and put the Solana logo on it and make it like purple. Like that's what we're gonna do.
Hey, you know, I mean, like, you know, it's got to drive people. You got to push people between stuff, and nobody knows how to do that yet. Well, except for me, because that's my secret plan. Other people do too, but you know, I'm just trying to talk shit up. You know, hey, look, like right now, it's like it's time for a new everything, new playbook, right? And it's all this stuff that we're learning coming out, all these things that like people like us, you know, like we're not actively. Well, I mean, with Earnscape or whatever, but I mean, I've been spending here like observing, you know, for so long, right? And we've got however many collective years of watching this industry, and it's just time. It's time to start figuring shit out because if we can't market stuff on the consumer side correctly, we can't lead people back to DeFi. We can't, and that's, you know, we have to lead people back to DeFi. We have to lead people back to sound money stuff because that's the money that stays in, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a big tough nut to crack right now. Stuff like this is cool, but it's not for the everyday person.
Oh, no, I think this literally going like this is like the other side of the spectrum from what we were talking about earlier with the real estate stuff, right? And like solving real use like pain points and stuff. This is like literally like I said, this is like a very niche targeted audience right here, man, with this product that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I think like to add to the point I had earlier about like we front run like the government and all that shit. It's like we did front run it, but like the industry that was here when it front run didn't do shit. And now the people with real money and real talent are going to come in and shake things up. So I do think that there is a bit of opportunity here for both sides of the aisle, for sure.
Well, one final point that I wanted to bring up real quick as we're looking at this Frank Muller thing, because it's a perfect sample. When it comes to the price point, and Missy was the one that actually brought this to my attention and like made me look at it very differently, is that if they were to price this wash with cryptocurrency, the price of the product can be perceived and accepted by the consumer very differently, right? Because, for example, if they were to price this with Bitcoin, right, that 24,000 now is represented by a fraction, by a number that looks like 0.00 whatever the fuck it is, right? And that makes a consumer be more at ease when it comes to spending. And I'm a perfect representation of that from a consumer perspective, because I've been using BoxGG to open up my One Piece opening. Yo, like seriously though, the fact that they allowed me to pay with cryptocurrency, I'm not even paying attention that I'm spending like $24 for my gems to open packs, because I'm using my fucking Bitcoin for whatever currency I want to use. And the representation of the $24.99 is so small represented in those currency that I'm not even paying attention to it. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of the time, and Missy taught me this, like I said, it's like consumers that have money in their crypto portfolio, they see something that's like, I don't know, let's say it's like 0.2 Solanas, right? They're like, bro, fucking, I fuck with it. I want to be in both, buy it. They don't even think about the price, right?
Yeah,
they just need that first fraction. You get me?
That's true. That's a good point.
That's a big, powerful move when you're bringing things to consumer. You're bringing it to market. You get me? It's understanding that side of the technology as well, and how that represents to consumer mentality. You know,
that is such a good point, because they've even talked about like whenever you're trying to spend points in like your virtual currency in video games, that instead of pricing it in dollars, you got to price it in the currency itself, because then that tells the consumer like, well, I don't have dollars, but I have this, right? And it makes them want to spend more. See, exactly what you're saying. It's optics. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Like I think, and to that point, Clouds, like I think they might have had, I don't know how the sales went, but I think like this might have been taken differently if it was 200 Solana. Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's
not 24 G's.
Yeah, the perception. Yeah. I mean, it is 24 G's, but you're not thinking about it, right? Like it's just very differently.
Yeah.
I don't know. The perception is something to think about.
Bro, I can't wait to see those BoxGG unboxings, man. Like,
oh man, I've been getting so much content with it, dude. The thing is that I've been learning about, since I'm not fucking sponsored by the company or want to be sponsored by it or anything like that. I'm actually just having fun using the product. I've been making content on it, but I've been also learning about the product as I make the content. So I keep running into the situation where I'm saying shit about the product, and then I found out that my information was wrong. So I'm like, fuck, I can't use
That's kind of cool though, man. That's genuine, right?
It is, but I'm like, I gotta make another video saying like, I was wrong on my previous video. Here's the real information you want to know. But yeah, it's been fun just exploring the product, and it's cool that it has Web3 tech to something like card collectibles, which is something I've been a fan of for a long time. So.
Oh, bro, yeah, I still got stacks of my OG 94 X-Men cards and all that shit. Like,
oh shit, dude. Yeah, holy shit.
Check it out. Actually, right here, bro.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I got more up there, but like I got all this old shit, all the old Fleer and Tops, everything, man. I got my Garbage Pail Kids over here too. I kept it all, baby.
That's fucking dope, dude. That's like our homie Cade has like a huge comment.
Yeah.
Collection.
Yeah. He showed me some stuff when we were on a call one day. I mean, that stuff's cool, dude. I mean, once I get my office redone, I'm gonna bust out all the Transformers and the GI Joes and all that kind of shit.
Ooh,
hell yeah, dude. That's dope.
I want to get.
Whatever.
Eventually, like, because I'm slowly getting into collecting stuff too. Because this is like a GameCube from Johnny actually. I don't know if it works, but he gave it to me. It was like all painted and stuff. But I want a display case room and a display case.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have all sorts of shit in there, sneakers, like all sorts of stuff. I'm gonna get into sneakers, but man, y'all.
I'm a big fan of this.
Hurry up, XRP! Fuck.
Sorry, pump it. Get the $10. No, All right, man. Well, man, this has been one of my favorite episodes. I gotta say, this is a fun one. We talked about a lot of cool things. Doc, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, brother. You definitely gotta
so much.
We gotta make this a recurring thing, bro. You gotta come back. Definitely gotta be a part next time of another episode or something. But yo, thank you so much to everybody listening. Let us know in the comment what type of physical product would you like to see with blockchain technology. That's a fun one right there. Let us know. Yeah, I would love to know. Whoa, you said butt plugs?
Every time you stake a token, it buzzes.
Bro.
Bro, every time a transaction on XRP settles, the love sense vibrates. She'll pass out.
Everyone wants to make it like Web3 OnlyFans. I mean, like, you got to make products for that too, man. Interactive products with the Twitch thing. It all goes full circle, guys.
Adam and Eve hit up Doug with the sponsorship, bro. You know he gas you with
Adam and Eve.
Yeah, the endorsement's gonna be there for sure. All right, man. This is a fun episode. This is episode 72 of TCE. We'll catch you guys on next week. Peace.
Peace.